Fuji go high the beat. Stopping it, we've been tapping it. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight. Stopping it, we've been tapping it. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight.
Oh.
I guess you'd wonder where we've been.
Hey.
What's going on, y'all? It's episode 53 of the Heavyweight Bros podcast. It is Saturday, June 11th. We're getting closer and closer and closer to the end of this year. Per usual, I am your host, the 5XL assassin, the diabolical diabetic, diabetic, your boy, the big nasty. To my right is the high yellow hitman, Coach Buck, the freaking deacon, my man, Uncle Razor. What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's good till a few seconds ago? G checking me like I'm smoking. I owe you some money or something.
Episode 53. Do we got some money for 53?
Navarro Bowman.
Damn, I like that.
There you go.
Pythagoras. That's two 49ers in a row, yo. I'm down with the bow, man. I'm with
top of the dome right
I was like, what was Jason Taylor? What was he? He wasn't 53.
55.
Good call.
55.
Junior Seau?
Also 55.
They played on the same team, though, at the same time.
Junior Seau. I don't think so. Junior Seau was on the Chargers, bro.
Yeah, then he went to the Dolphins.
Taylor wasn't out by then?
Nah, Jason Taylor was there for like 12 years.
And Junior Seau.
He was there with Patrick Surtain, Sam Madison, like all them boys. Ricky Williams. That was the
53 though.
That was the whatchamacallit. That was the NFL Street Dolphins roster was with Junior Seau and Jason Taylor. And Zach Taylor, too, was on that team.
I see him in a 53, though. We got to look that up afterwards.
All right. We'll see. But, like, Navarro Bowman's good enough. I'm with it.
I like Navarro.
I'm down with the Navarro Bowman.
I'm doing good, bro, man. You know me. It's pod days. It is definitely getting not close to the end of this year, but the end of the school year. I think that's what you probably meant to say.
Isn't that what we meant?
Yeah.
It's like, come on now. That's all that matters.
Summer is vastly approaching. Give us some free time, some recuperating time, I guess you could say.
Rest and relaxation.
There you go. Have some outings, do some cookouts, maybe take a little vacay. I'm thinking about even taking a weekend cruise. And I do not like boats at all.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a boats and planes guy.
About boats and hoes. But have you never been, but like you went on didn't you go to like the open water fishing trip?
Yes, and I hated it the whole time. I literally only went for the enrichment of the children that we were bringing on the trip.
Okay. And
one of the little homies felt the same way I did. Because you know what this man did? This man had the fishing pole in the water, and that boat shook a little bit. And the first thing the guy says is, hey, you could drop anything in the water. Don't drop the fishing pole because you'll have to pay for those. That man was like, boat shook. He was like, whoop, and grabbed the rail. I was like, yo, bro, where's your fishing pole at? He was like, I was like, yo, here, take mine. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
Not a word.
Don't say nothing. Man, well, man, listen.
Yeah, like, he didn't even yank it either.
Right. Bro, and that was good as long as we could see land. But once land started getting smaller, I was like, yeah, I don't really want to fish like that no more. I caught my little 2 fish early, and I was like, fillet these for me. It's a wrap.
But to be fair, like, cruises aren't really like that. Like, it's like you're on a moving hotel.
Everybody keeps saying that. You ain't never going to feel it. You ain't going to know you on
a boat.
I didn't say I am going to know I'm on a boat.
I never said you was never going to feel it. What I'm saying is, like, if you want to not go outside and see what it looks like you can do that. Like, you can navigate all through the boat and whatnot.
Yeah, I get it. We'll see what happens. I said I possibly may do it. We'll see.
You know how, like, at every cookout, like, whenever, like, the kids are playing and stuff like that, like, there's always one adult that's like, kids gonna sleep good tonight. Someone said that I know them sharks ain't good that night of the Titanic. That's all I know.
Come on here. How are you doing today? This brother's tripping, man.
I just thought that was a wild meme that I saw one time.
It is wild. And
I was like, yo,
wild enough to not be repeated. Yo, that brother's tripping, man.
I'd like, honestly, like, it's been like kind of like a heavy week for me.
Okay.
So it's like, I've been like a little stressed out with stuff like that, but like, you know, like I handle stress like a little bit differently. So I kind of just
do know that.
Yeah. So like, it's like things have been annoying. They've been a little bit hectic, and it's like I got a lot of things I need to figure out, but it's just like it's tranquilo. That's where I keep things.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at with it.
That's tranquil, right?
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like a calamate. I've been taking Duolingo, by the way, trying to learn some Spanish. So
It's about time, Puerto Rican. We won't blame you for that. We know the gentleman.
Everybody tells me that I'm other.
You're.
I was just like, I feel like I should be taking this as disrespect, but like honestly, I don't care because I'm black from the waist down, so that's all that matters.
Oh my goodness!
All right, where we headed first? Like,
no diggity, no doubt.
mm-hmm.
All right, so Pharrell continues to show people that he is the greatest at what he does, which is producing music and making music. If he wants,
we call him Pharrell the greatest.
One of the greatest.
Okay.
All right.
He might be my personal favorite.
We could say he's like at least top 5.
I think that's without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think you got like the Kanye, the Dre, him, Timbaland, and then so like you kind of go from there. What do you like? Premier, J Dilla, like whoever you like from there.
Right. But he has recently released a song called "Cash In, Cash Out" with both 21 Savage and Tyler the Creator on it. Before I even get to the music, the visual effects of the video are bar none. Like so for those who don't know, like I said, the song's called Cash In, Cash Out, but they're not actually in the video. It's all like claymation, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But it's like
think Celebrity Deathmatch. And it's like they just did a music video for that.
Right. So it's just like kind of like a merry-go-round setting, and like when the rappers come in, Pharrell's in there, it's like a repeat setting of them doing different things. But like I said, the visual content of the video was amazing. I don't know who did it. I didn't get a chance to look it up, but he definitely put in time on this one.
It definitely brings up the video.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the song was already pretty dope, but it's like the visual of it. It's just like, oh, this is fire.
Right. So it's just like the depiction he gives of 21 Savage and Tyler Creator is like super impressive. Then you have Pharrell doing stuff like,
oh, I saw you when you were watching. You were like, that looks just like Tyler.
It's just never mind the fact like you had the one part where Pharrell's like taking off sunglasses, but there's still sunglasses on his face, and he just keeps doing it. I'm like, yo, this is a pretty dope video.
It was a cool video.
Yeah, it was definitely. And you know, when Pharrell asked you to do a song, you better be ready to do a song. And them two brothers was ready. And I enjoyed the song. I am going to give it a few more listens because I just had the one listen today.
Yeah.
And I felt like the video got a lot of my attention, but I am going to run through those bars again just to make sure. But it is definitely one to check out.
I continue to be impressed by how much I've enjoyed 21 Savage's music. Because like when he first came out, like he was definitely one of those. He came out of that class that was a little rough to get into. It was like Kodak Black, Lil Uzi, him, and stuff like that. And I remember distinctly being like, I don't understand what everybody likes about 21 Savage. And it's like I can't remember
saying he does better on features than he does on his actual song.
I can't remember if it was his first album or his second album, but like there was a point in time where it was just like he was just like, oh, like I'm gonna start like actually rapping and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh, like, am I enjoying 21 Savage? And it's like, I think Tyler might have had the best verse on here, but I think 21 Savage gave him the run for his money.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It was. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I think 21 may just want to do features for the rest of his career.
That's okay,
because he definitely spits some flames when he's doing features. So
I mean, but he did win a Grammy though.
Yeah,
that boy Jermaine Cole.
Yes,
might have heard of him.
It was also a feature, right?
Jermaine was the feature, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to put that out.
Okay. So aside from that, we have this Rolling Stone topic.
Boy, oh boy, we do.
Would you like to take this over?
I don't mind if I do.
Shoot.
So this got me a little amped up.
Obi-Wan.
This got me a little amped up. I'm like, I can't remember when the list came out. If it was Sunday or if it was Monday.
And it's supposed to be like the top 100, right?
Yes. So Rolling Stone put out the 100 greatest rap albums list. And
is it just rap albums? I thought it was.
It was just hip hop albums.
Okay.
It was just hip hop albums.
I wonder how they in charge of that.
How about I just read their top 10 before I even get into it?
Okay.
Something like that. Let me see. I wrote it down here.
Writing. There.
It was a lot of writing. I had a lot to say. I told you to do your homework. Did you do your homework?
I did not.
I figured it
was a busy week, man. I'm sorry.
It was. I had a lot of things going on this week too. You know what I still found time to do? My homework.
Oh, so he says that when we make time for the stuff we care about.
So this was their top 10 list.
Okay.
Actually, I'll just read the list first before we start talking about it. At number 10.
Okay.
Lauryn Hill's The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Number 9, A Tribe Called Quest, The Low End Theory.
Okay.
And number 8, Wu-Tang Clan, Enter the 36 Chambers.
Okay.
Number 7, Missy Elliott, Miss E, So Addictive. And number 6, Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Number 5, Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly. And number 4, Public Enemy, It Takes a Nation of Millions. Number 3, Jay-Z, The Blueprint. Number 2, Outkast, Stankonia. Number 1, The Notorious B.I.G.'s Ready to Die. Now, when I sent you this list, your response was, I don't really see what the issue is on this. Now that you've had some time with it, do you see some things that should have been omitted or things of that nature?
I haven't had any time with it.
I sent it to you on like Monday.
I know. I didn't have any time with it. I didn't have any time with it at all.
As I'm repeating it out loud, like, does anything stick out to you from it?
Yes.
What sticks out?
Missy Elliott.
Okay. And do you think Missy shouldn't be on here at all, or like Missy's too high?
I don't want to say she's too high, but I just feel like she may not need to be on there. I feel like there's something missing that could replace that.
You want me to tell you what album that I immediately saw that was missing? And I'm talking about like as I'm rating it, like I got to number 2 and I saw what number 2 was, and I was like, oh, if this album isn't number 1, like I don't know who the hell made this list.
Okay.
Where's Nas Illmatic on here? Where is Illmatic?
Wow.
So that made me jump on and find out where was Nas Illmatic on their list. It was the 24th album on the list. The number 16 album was Cardi B's Invasion of Privacy. This is like how wild this list was.
Oh no.
So now I gave you that.
No.
Yeah, yes.
Oh no.
Yes. So like
I feel like they more along the lines pick names and do albums with it rather than picking actual albums.
I can see that as well. Another thing about it is Outkast Stankonia would be a number 2. I don't even think a lot of people think Stankonia is Outkast's best album. And it's like to put it number 2 above Jay-Z's Blueprint.
Right, because wasn't their best-selling album a criminal?
Yes. So I took the liberty of writing down a ton of albums
that are not in this top 10.
That are not in this top 10. Okay. Some of them are just because I wanted to do the greatest albums by the greatest artists and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I feel like
sheesh,
we should first look at this list and feel like there are some things that don't belong. I think I tend to agree with you that the Missy Elliott album doesn't belong on here. Is it Missy's best album? I think it could be argued, but I think they kind of got that one right.
Okay.
I just don't think it belongs in anybody's top 10.
Okay.
As far as, I'm trying to think if there was another one that I saw here. Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly. Who thinks that that's Kendrick Lamar's best album?
Good job.
And it's like, that made it all the way, that made it to number 5.
And are you taking that over Illmatic?
Absolutely not. I think Illmatic, if it's not number 1, it has to be number 2.
Right.
I think it's considered by many to be the greatest rap album of all time.
Who's the best MCs?
What do you mean?
Jay-Z,
Nas. So here's some albums that I put on here, and I want to put a star next to the ones that make you go, ooh.
Okay.
All right. Number 1, I had Nas, Illmatic.
Definitely a ooh.
Okay.
More like a dang.
Biggie. I had Biggie's Ready to Die, but then I also had Life After Death. But I do think Ready to Die is a better album. So I think they got that one right.
Ready to Die is Baby with the afro on the cover.
Yep, that's Juicy, Hypnotize, all that on there.
You got a red dot on your forehead.
Yeah, Warning is on there as well. So it's an incredible album. Jay-Z, they got the Blueprint on here. How would you feel if there was 2 Jay-Z albums on here and Reasonable Doubt was also on this list?
I would actually choose Reasonable Doubt over the Blueprint, but that's just me.
I think Blueprint is a better album, but I like Reasonable Doubt more.
I was just listening to that album today.
50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah, you can put a star next to that one.
Put a star next to it.
Sheesh. I feel like this is about to get real dark.
It's going to get crazy.
Sheesh. Okay.
Eminem, the Marshall Mathers LP.
Yeah.
How was it Rolling Stone didn't put Eminem on their list?
I want to know who's responsible for this.
So Marshall Mathers LP, I also had Encore, which is like the album that came after. That was like Cleaning Out My Closet, Till I Collapse, all that stuff.
That's the one with the curtains on the front of the album? Yes. So
but I'm going to put a star next to Marshall Mathers because I feel like that's his crowning achievement.
Yep.
Tupac, All Eyes on Me.
Wow. Star it.
Why is my list already better than their list?
That is crazy.
Okay. I put the Wu-Tang on here.
I'm just thinking who comes out of that top 10. This is crazy.
I think there's quite a few that could easily come out of here.
Continue.
Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City, and Damn. I feel like both better albums than To Pimp a Butterfly. And I think if I was to choose one of them, I think Good Kid, Mad City is the one that deserves to be on here.
Okay.
Do you agree? Or is it like, I feel like they didn't make you do a face?
It did make me do a face.
So I'm going to underline it though. I put Drake on here just because I wanted to put a Drake album on here. I honestly don't think he belongs in the top 10.
No.
I just put him on there. J. Cole's 2004 Forest Hills Drive.
Say that one again.
The 2014 Forest Hills Drive. That's the no role models, like all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's him sitting on the brick wall.
I think it's considered by many to be J. Cole's best album.
Yes.
So like that's why I put it on
Still
there.
listen to that one.
This is another one that I was like, I can't believe this one didn't make this list. Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style.
Wow. Yeah, go yikes. Somebody's gonna get fired.
This is another one that I was like, I can't believe this didn't make this list. I personally, I feel like I need to put this out there. I personally am not the biggest fan of this album, but like Dr. Dre's The Chronic. So that's all I'm gonna say is Dr. Dre's The Chronic. I feel like it's insane. So like, by the way, like out of all the ones that I've named so far, the only person that didn't get a star is Kendrick and J. Cole. Everybody else has gotten ums and ums. And I feel like these aren't the reactions you got to some of the names when I read the initial list. I think we're gonna start getting a little bit, it's gonna start evening out a little bit more. Ice Cube, America's Most Wanted. So I'm saying. NWA, Straight Outta Compton.
That was tough though.
I don't think it was a great album, but I think it was an important album. And I think it had some a couple standout tracks, but for the overall, I don't think it was that great.
Well put.
Kanye West. I do agree that My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is his best album and it should be on here. But I also put College Dropout and Graduation.
Yeah.
Do either of them move the needle to you more than My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy does? Okay. I already did Tribe. So I put Aquemini. Is Aquemini, should it be on here instead of Stankonia?
That's the first thing that popped into my mind. When you said Outkast, I thought you were going to say Aquemini.
So I was looking at Missy's album. I don't know what the hell that is. That's not even a star that I just made. Like, look at that. It looks like a swimsuit top.
Because that's Aquemini's a couple of years ago at Edlin and DeLoe was the start of Something Good. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. For Missy, I had Under Construction and I had Super Duper Fly, but I do think Miss E So Addictive is the best Missy album. I just don't think it belongs in the top 10 of here. I tried to find a
Nothing against Missy though.
No, not at all. Because like you already know Missy's one of my favorite artists. But it's like I think it's hard to come up with a classic album. Like there's a lot of people that have really good albums, but not great albums.
And I'm not nothing personal. I'm not going back to listen to a Missy track. If it pops up at a party or a cookout or something, like, oh, that's
this is the Get Your Freak On album. In case you were wondering, like which one it was. Yeah. I tried to find a Busta Rhymes album, and I feel like none of his albums ever reached that level.
He's always got a lot of bangers.
Yes, and then like in his album cuts aren't the greatest.
Right.
It's like it's really tough to get it all the way around. I had Lauryn Hill on here. The Fugees, The Score.
That album was fire. That album, what was that? Was that 9th grade? I think that might have been 9th grade.
That's Ready or Not. Here I come.
I know.
You can't hide.
I know.
The last one, and I also couldn't believe that this was on this list. And that it wasn't on this list.
They had the 3 faces on the album cover.
That's not getting a star.
That was the only album, right?
Yeah, that they did together.
Right.
That one's not getting a star?
What?
The Score, Fugees?
Yes.
Or am I underlining it?
No, underline it.
And the last one that I also couldn't believe wasn't on this, Lil' Kim's Hardcore.
Ugh. Underline it. I'm not starring it, but I'll underline it.
All right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 albums on here that have stars on them. So something's gotta go. Let's look at this.
9 things have to go.
I'm not saying that they have to go, but like let's take a look at this real quick and see like what can get out here. I think we both agree Missy's could kind of move out.
Yeah.
I think Kendrick's To Pimp a Butterfly can move up out of here.
Yeah.
Public Enemy, It Takes a Nation of Millions. And I understand why they put this on here because I think Fight the Power is one of the greatest rap songs of all time. It's another thing where it's an important album, but that doesn't mean that it's the greatest album. I don't think it belongs in the top 10.
Okay.
Can you name me a second song off of the Public Enemy tape?
Bro, now without looking at the track.
911 is a joke.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah, it's like that's.
Oh man, I feel like they had a song too where there was just like a whole bunch of people in it. Dad, why is it not coming to my head right
It's
now?
all right. Am I crossing it out?
Yes.
I'm gonna cross it out. Outkast, Stankonia.
Self-Destruction. That wasn't theirs?
No, that was like the West Coast Committee or something like that. That had a match on it.
Got you.
Stankonia?
I mean, you might as well leave Outkast on there anyway because Aquemini is supposed to go there, but you can take
it's going somewhere.
Right.
That's for sure.
Right.
So, like,
you could
still gonna cross it out. I think Wu-Tang belongs.
Okay.
I think the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill belongs.
Definitely.
The Low End Theory. A Tribe Called Quest is my favorite rap group of all time. I do love this album. I think it's more in the top 15 range than it's in the top 10 range.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I can respect that decision.
So we're gonna watch color. We're gonna cross them.
So yeah.
So that means 1, 2, 3, 4. We've just created 5 spaces.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm assuming we're gonna decide who goes in those 5 spots.
Yes. So I think what we should decide first is, does anybody need to move down or up? So like right now, Lauryn Hill is the benchmark. She's the 5.
No, leave them where they are.
So,
No.
So Wu-Tang is a better album than the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. This is what I think.
Don't make me make these choices. We already allowed them to stay.
Okay, so but like Lauryn Hill right now is the
9
benchmark.
and 10. Make them 9 and 10.
They're gonna be 4 or 5. 2.
No, why would
3,
they be 4 and 5?
4.
We're gonna add 5.
Yeah, but right now this is the 5th one.
Okay.
Okay.
I just think
Where
easier to make them
does Illmatic go? Because I think we both agree Illmatic belongs on this list.
Yeah.
I mean, do we want to start from here? Is Illmatic better than Ready to Die?
I'm saying no.
Okay. Is Illmatic better than The Blueprint?
Yes.
So that puts Nas squarely at number 2.
Yes.
Illmatic. Okay. Reasonable Doubt. Is Reasonable Doubt better than Illmatic?
I think Reasonable Doubt should go over The Blueprint.
So it should be number 3 and The Blueprint should be number 4. So Jay-Z's got...
I don't want The Blueprint on there. I want
Reasonable
Doubt on there. We're not putting Jay-Z on there twice.
Why not?
10 spots.
I feel like if you're in... So like, I noticed that people do this a lot with top 10 lists where like, you can only pick one of the things. I feel like if you make 2 of the top 5 greatest albums on top, then you should have 2 albums in the top 5. Because if The Blueprint's better than the 36 Chambers, like why should the 36 Chambers be out here and not The Blueprint? But I'll put Reasonable Doubt here at number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Reasonable Doubt. 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying.
8.
So you think Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is better than Get Rich or Die Trying?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Wu-Tang's Enter the 36 Chambers is better than Get Rich or Die Trying?
No, I already told you. I think that and Lauryn Hill should be 9 and 10. 50 would be 8.
So 50 would be above it, because I agree with that as well. I don't think it's better than Kanye's, but I do think it's better than than Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Die Trying. The Marshall Mathers LP. I feel like we're gonna have a lot of back and forth on this. Because I really, really think this album is amazing. I'm gonna start the bidding at Get Rich or Die Trying. Is the Marshall Mathers LP better than 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying?
Man, I spent almost a whole summer listening to that album.
That's what I'm saying. For a frame of reference, this is The Real Slim Shady. This is Bitch Please. This is I Am. This is there's a bunch of stuff on here, but it was like this is Stan is on here as well.
Cleaning
like
Out My Closet.
No, Cleaning Out My Closet was the Eminem show.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That was after that.
Gotcha.
I sit back with this pack of zigzags and just look at this. Come on now.
Put him at 7.
So he's above 50 Cent.
Yeah.
He passes 50 Cent. I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna defer to you because I was like, I can't pick between them. So I was like, whatever you pick, I was gonna go with.
I know.
So M makes it above there. I put MLP. Okay. Tupac, All Eyes on Me.
4.
So you think it goes but it's better than Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy?
Yes.
As much as I would love to argue with you about this, because like I'm not the biggest Tupac fan. Mm-hmm. I feel like, okay, I'm gonna go with you.
It's like, okay.
Tupac, all eyes. I'm gonna let you know right now. Now that's gonna be the benchmark of every album that we come talk about. Is it better than All Eyes on Me?
How many spots you have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's only one spot left.
Yeah, but somebody can get dropped off this list easy, and Lauryn Hill is the one on the cutting room floor because you put it there. I think we can skip. All right, Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City. Is Good Kid, Mad City better than Wu-Tang and 36 Chambers?
No.
Is it better than The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill?
No.
Does it belong on this list?
No.
Okay, that's fine. This is the one that I've been waiting for. Where does Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style go on this? Because I think it's one of the greatest rap albums of all time. And I think it's one of the greatest rap debuts of all time, too.
I spent all of 8th grade saying words I was not supposed to say.
I'm going to start the bidding at Tupac, All Eyes on Me. Is it better? Is Doggy Style better than All Eyes on Me?
Yes.
Is it better than Reasonable Doubt?
No.
Okay. Snoop. Doggy Style. Dr. Dre's The Chronic. Is it better than Wu-Tang 36 Chambers?
If I had to choose, I'm going Wu-Tang.
Is The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill better than Dr. Dre's The Chronic? This is where we are right now. Either Dre makes the list or Lauryn makes the list. It's one or the other. Lauryn right now is like, I'm fighting for my mom. Life, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Get Rich and Die. I'm stuck on a 50 Cent. The Chronic or The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill?
I'm leaving this one up to you.
I think The Chronic's got to go then. I think we keep Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. You should have left that one up to me. We said no more Kanye. Outkast Aquemini. Is Aquemini better than Wu-Tang and the 36 Chambers?
Man, that's so tough because that Aquemini album is fire.
It is fire.
It is fire.
It's the album that put the South on the map.
The
South got something to say. That was this album, Aquemini. Not Southern Playing Listen Cadillac Music, which people also like.
Yeah, that was dope. Oh.
And now the joy of my world is in Zion.
Oh. No, you gotta leave Lauryn Hill, man.
Lauryn
Hill. Dang, I want Outkast on there so bad.
Are they over Wu-Tang? Do you want to flip-flop Lauryn Hill and Wu-Tang, take Wu-Tang off the list and put Outkast on?
No.
Okay. So does Outkast not make this list? They're more of a top 15 album. You are staring at this so crazy.
I'm trying to see who I can take off to get Outkast on. Oh, this is tough.
Do you want me to look up the track listing real quick of Aquemini?
No.
Okay.
No. I like this album. I don't need to be reminded about how much I like this album. Oh. This is so tough.
This is tough.
This is so
It
tough.
makes me wonder how this album didn't make it on the original top 10 list in the first place.
I can't choose.
If you were asked,
it's like having two family members hanging off the cliff. It's like, but you can only pull one up because you need all your strength.
Is it my wife or my kid?
Who
is it?
I'm choosing my wife.
Big enough kid. Omni Man taught me that.
Oh man, bro, I can't make this choice, man. How many more do we have to consider putting on? Is this the last one?
There's two more. They're just underlined though.
No, we're not doing no underlines.
Okay,
so this is the last choice.
So I guess like my question is, are you sure you want me to make this choice?
No, because I know how much you love Lauryn Hill, and you're gonna easily say Aquemini doesn't make it, but they belong on this list.
You're killing airtime right now. You gotta watch.
All right, take off Lauryn, man.
Lauryn's gone?
She has to.
I would have kicked them outcasts to the curb. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I can't believe you just took Lauren off. How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, Outkast will probably be mad at me too.
Let's see, 2, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the new number 10, Outkast. Aquemini.
I feel so bad about this.
So I'm gonna read the original top 10 of Rolling Stone, and then I'm going to read ours, just as a comparison and contrast. Their number 10 was The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, which sadly missed our list. Number 9 was A Tribe Called Quest, The Low End Theory, which also did not make our list. Number 8, Wu-Tang, Enter the 36 Chambers, which we had as our number 9. Number 7, Miss E, So Addictive, which did not make our... I think I got to make one more push. Does Lil Kim's Hardcore make it on this? Okay, that's all I want to know. I just want to know. Missy, who did not make our list. Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which was their number 6, which also ended up as our number 6. Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly, which did not make our list. Public Enemy's It Takes a Million of Nations to Hold Us Back, which was their number 4, did not make our list. Jay-Z's The Blueprint was number 3, which did not make our list. Number 2, Outkast Stankonia, which did not make our list. And their number 1 was Biggie's Ready to Die, which was also our number 1. So I guess they kind of got that one right. They nailed that one. But out of their original top 10, we only have like 4 albums on here. And a lot of them are in very different spots. So the Heavyweight Bros, top 10 hip-hop albums of all time.
About that last pick. Yeah. Oh, my
Do you want to change it right now before I read it out loud?
No, because then I'm going to feel bad that Outkast is not on there.
Are we sticking with it? This is your last chance. I'll give you 5 seconds to make the decision.
Put Lauryn Hill on.
Lauryn Hill.
Dang, man, this is so crazy, man.
Our honorable mention, number 11, was Outkast, Aquemini. Number 10, Lauryn Hill's The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Number 9, the Wu-Tang Clan, Enter the 36 Chambers. Number 8, 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. Number 7, Eminem's The Marshall Mathers LP. Number 6, Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Number 5, Tupac, All Eyes on Me. Number 4, and I still think it's a little bit too low, Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style. Number 3, Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt. Number 2, Nas, Illmatic. And number 1, the Notorious B.I.G.'s Ready to Die.
That was not a quick turnaround.
Unlike over our custom merch on IG and Etsy with a boy G Head. If you go over to Etsy and type in the brand custom merch, and then you find the promo code, you type in Heavyweight Bros, spelled HW, the number 8BROS, to save you 10% on your order, because the more you spend,
the more you save.
That I feel like you feel drained.
That was stressful.
Do you feel drained?
That was stressful.
I enjoyed all of that.
I feel like I just worked a shift.
I can't tell you, like, when I was like, I felt like I was in the lap. Like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh no. I was like, this is not going to stand. And I was like, I was writing down.
I mean, it's going to stand because we don't make any changes, but.
No, what I'm saying is, like, the Rolling Stone list. I was like, this is. And when I saw that Illmatic was 24, I was like, I'll spit on whoever made this list. I was like, this is crazy. Because if you would ask me, like, I would have had it at number 1, and then Biggie would have been right after. Okay. That's just me personally.
Okay. Okay.
But I was just like, it's so annoying that I feel bad speaking ill of the Rolling Stone, because, like, obviously I don't know anybody that works there or whatever.
Right.
But it just seems like hip hop, which is now the number 1 genre of music in the world, and we are constantly being graded on a system of people that don't understand us. And so, like, the Rolling Stone makes this list, and we're constantly talking about how the Grammys get it wrong over and over and over again. So it's like our success, or like our, like, you know, credit that we feel like we deserve, our certification, like, we have to, like, hold in the hands of people that don't even get what we're talking about. And it's like, that's so annoying to me.
It's well said. I have nothing. That's well said.
Yeah. So, but proceed to whatever the next topic is, because I honestly don't know what it is.
Oh, we got Insomnia Hour.
Okay. Wake me up inside.
Wake me up.
Wake me up inside.
Save me.
Save me from the nothing else inside.
Get after it.
Yeah.
All right.
I tried to do a little bit lower, so that way, to make sure that it gets caught on audio.
Yeah. So, June 16th.
Okay.
On BET is the Martin Lawrence reunion.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
So,
because Twitter did a thing where they were like, "What's the top Martin moments?" And they were showing a lot of clips, and I was like, "This show was so much funnier than it deserved to be." And I think I told you before, like, I'm not the biggest Martin Lawrence fan, but I love Martin the TV show. Yes. I think it belongs like in the maybe not the Mount Rushmore, but like the pantheon of like the greatest black TV shows of all time.
Listen, my son walks around all the time when his friends come over, and out of nowhere I hear, "Sorry, I lied to you, Martin. I just want to go to Arizona."
Sorry, I lied to you.
You said I've been playing for Shorty all the time. He ain't even mine.
I'm almost 100% sure that Martin did not script that scene. He just made fun of that boy.
Right. Sidebar. Did you know that in the pilot of Fresh Prince, the ending scene where Will and Uncle Phil are having an argument, that he was not supposed to play the piano at the end?
Yes.
Okay. I just make sure. I just found that out. I didn't know that. All right. But yeah, so reunion for Martin, June 16th, BET. I think some of the tougher things that are going to happen that we're going to see in this reunion is, of course, visiting the fact that Tommy is not there because he passed away. So I think this reunion is kind of like a tribute to him. And then the biggest question and the toughest question is there ever a chance for a Martin Lawrence reunion?
So wait, this isn't a reunion?
I mean, reboot.
Okay. I don't think it needs a reboot.
I don't think so either, but the question is going to pop up.
I just don't think the story in itself is built for a reboot. Like Fresh Prince makes sense. It's like, kid who goes from the ghetto, like you go from rags to riches like overnight, and it's like, trying to find out where you fit in. Like that makes sense. But like Martin's thing was like he was just like a broke radio host was dealing with relationship drama.
Right. And I don't know how you like at the age that they're at, how you redo some of that stuff and feel like you want to go back to that. The only reason I would say that it would possibly happen is because the only person that really is well off from the cast is Martin.
Yeah.
So everybody else.
I don't know, man. Tisha Campbell and Patricia Arnold, like they host the Soul Train Awards like in the last like 4 years. Tisha Arnold was on Everybody Hates Chris, and she was on like another show.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. Like she has like quite a bit of success.
All right, so maybe this would just work out.
Tisha Campbell had My Wife and Kids and stuff like that. Like you know what I mean?
You're right.
And
so maybe this would just work out for Cole and Brotman from the Fifth Floor.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I thought that what you were gonna bring up was, I don't know if you remember the Dwayne Martin Lawrence thing. Yep. Because like that's what I thought.
As soon as I saw like the trailer, I was like, where is Martin actually sitting in contrast to Tisha Campbell? Yeah. Because this is a little awkward. And like, are they really gonna be enthusiastic about the reunion and how it works out? I was just like, that ain't my business. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. So I'm hoping the best. I'm definitely gonna tune in and watch it. Just because I like Martin.
What does BET even stream on? Do you need like the BET app?
Oh, it is. That's great that you asked that because it is on BET Plus.
So I'm not gonna see this, and I'll see the highlights on YouTube.
Oh no, I'm gonna
see I don't know about you. I don't got no BET Plus.
My little pirated joint is gonna have it on.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna see it after the fact.
If the Magic Johnson joint was on there, this Martin Lawrence joint is gonna be on there. Aside from that, few TV shows that we can get into right quick. So we'll go with.
Why do I feel like you deleted mad shows off of there? Like I feel like I banged out mad shows recently.
I didn't delete anything off here. I promise you, I did.
Oh, you know what? I'm looking at digging in the crates. That's my bad.
Yeah, see, you tripping.
I am tripping.
But so I do have another premiere. I don't know if you watched the first season of the show. I did watch it. I loved it. It was very down to earth. It was definitely a good representation of Black culture and some of the things that you could possibly see. And it's a comedic relief. And that's the Upshaws.
Who's in that?
Mike Epps.
Why do I feel like I remember this getting ready to come out, but I never watched it?
Why can I not remember her name? She played Regine in Living Single.
You got me. I don't know what her real name is either.
I feel like she was also in like an old show too, like 227 or something like that.
Like Jack A? No, I know it's not what it was. But it doesn't matter. Like, what's the Upshaws about, though? What's the Upshaws about?
All right, so you look up who she is while I tell what the Upshaws is. Come on, man. We got to work together. All right, so the Upshaws is it stars Mike Epps, and he is a struggling mechanic. Okay. And that's how he makes his career. And just through that, it's just basically the life's calamities that he goes through as a life. It is a comedy show. Her name is Kim Fields. Why did I not remember Kim Fields? and see if what old show she was in, because it was
definitely, she was on Living Single.
Living Single, I know that, but it was like an old
Facts of Life.
Facts of Life. Come on, get it together, Reason. All right, but yeah, so he's a struggling mechanic.
She still got it too. I'm still got it.
Like don't crack. They are married. They're raising their family. And like the first season, like they visit some calamities of like him having a child with another girl. Not during the show, he's already an older kid and they know about each other, but like the way he navigates co-parenting and also having a family, and then like how that looks as far as like his wife getting along with the mother of his other child, and like birthday parties and being here and running a shop, and it just all comes together as one. So ups and downs, being mad at each other, coming back, it was entertaining. It was entertaining. So I'm excited that they brought it back for a season 2. Netflix.
Okay.
Yep. So, usually, Netflix may not pick up shows like this if you don't do what you got to do, and they did pick them up for a second season. So I'm definitely going to tune in for that one.
Okay.
A new episode of Obi-Wan.
I watched it.
And it was not a farce. It was actually part of the Force that O'Shea was on the show.
That is not where I expected you to go.
Did I hurt your brain? Did I hurt your brain just now? Yes. So
yeah, O'Shea does appear on the show.
Yeah, so I don't know if Ice Cube is really going to be on there. That could have been a rumor, but
I also want to know, like, did he gain weight to be on this for this bit part, or like did they just put him in?
He did look a little. It could be the clothes he's wearing, but he did look.
I was like, that don't look like that Den of Thieves body. That's all
I'm
saying.
It didn't look like he could put on a SWAT uniform.
Not at all.
Not unless some 2 buttons was unlaced. But it wasn't a long part, but he did get maybe like a good 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. He did well with it. He's not a bad actor. I don't know if this is a part that they will come back to or not.
It kind of reminds me of on The Mandalorian, like how he has like that mechanic he always goes back to.
Right.
I feel like that's going to be like his thing. Is like, hey, I got a mission for you now.
Right. And I feel like in contrast to that character, we probably seen her maybe like 3 times in the season.
Yeah, like she's not on there much, but she is like a cast member.
Right. And to say you're part of the Star Wars franchise is big. So we'll see where it goes.
Still waiting to see where Ice Cube's at.
Right. I think that might have been a farce, but we'll see.
If that brother's like is like an inquisitor, it's gonna be the best.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy. So I wanted to ask you, how are you enjoying the show?
I think that it's definitely gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
We're
seeing more Darth Vader.
We're seeing a lot of Vader.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Vader episode was the best one.
You were right about them using James Earl Jones.
Yeah, bro. The second that I heard it, I was like, "What is he talking about? That is not James Earl Jones."
I just
100% Darth Vader.
You know what I think it really was? It's just like you're just so used to that being a Darth Vader voice that you don't even pay attention to it. Just like, all right, this is the voice.
Like, it's definitely not Hayden Christensen. That's
right. It's like this is definitely the voice that it's supposed to be. So it was just so normalized from me already hearing that voice that I didn't even pay attention to whether or not it was James Earl Jones.
Okay.
So, but it is, and it's pretty dope.
I'm trying to think of like what the problem I have with the show so far is.
Okay.
And it's like, it's not a lot of the stuff that's going on. It's more just like, so a lot of my thing, I think, was with young Princess Leia.
Okay.
And it's not about like her acting.
It looks like she's related to me because that little baby got a big forehead.
And it's like, it's not like her acting per se, because it's like she holds well like in scenes like when she's having conversations,
especially for her age.
I think it's any time that she has to do any sort of action, it looks crazy. Like whenever she's like running
or something,
she's running or jumping, I'm just like, oof, this looks rough.
You look like you related.
I'm like, these Inquisitors would have caught her so quick, like at any point in time.
Quick.
Like there, she does the thing where she jumps from like the rooftop or whatever. I was like,
when she was running through the woods and she slid down the little dirt path, I'm like, fam, I would have.
And the Inquisitors like, whoa.
Right, bro. Not only would I have got there, but when you slid, I would have grabbed you by your shirt. Like,
what are you doing?
She's like,
by the way, we have the Force. I will just you out of here. What are you talking about?
He said you out of here. Right? Because I think that would be the only thing that bothers me about the show is like, when do you choose to use the Force? Because it's like, you used it to move something to blow up this ship, but you won't use it to stop the little girl from running away from you. Like, or you're not battling with Obi-Wan. Like, you ain't going nowhere. Show me your Force. I'm going to show you mine. It's just like, all right, we picking and choosing.
That's what I mean. It's like a lot of that stuff like kind of like annoys me for the most part. I really don't understand this Reva hate because like I think her character's like very fascinating. Mm-hmm. Like actually, I don't know if like I like her character more because everybody seems to hate her, but I'm just like the whole time I'm just like I don't understand why people don't like her. Like I think she's very compelling character. Like she has very clear motivations. She has a very clear, distinct personality, and like. Yeah, like when she's on screen, like I feel afraid for Leia and Obi-Wan because I'm like, I don't know what this chick gonna do, but she will do whatever it takes.
I feel like if she was strong enough, she would just off Vader. Like, I'm in charge.
Yeah, like she has no problems interrogating a little girl to get the information that she needs.
Right. She was definitely about to tear the little girl apart. How you feel about your homie being on the show?
I have a lot.
I know he only pops in every now and again. Han from Fast and Furious.
Wait, which one was Han?
The Inquisitor, the Asian Inquisitor with.
That's not Han.
Yes, it is.
Looking like Android 19 from what you got.
That's not Han.
That's Han?
Yes.
I really like him. You sure about that?
Did you like him just because you found out?
No. I've liked him the whole time because he is so done with Reba. Yes, every time he's like, yo, what the?
He was like, yo, shut everything down. This has to be her fault. Everything is her fault.
Yo, if he does a Kung Lao, then he's one of my favorite characters.
Throws that hat off? Yeah.
But like the second I saw, because the internet was roasting them, they were like, I know Lord Raiden when I see him. They're doing all that. And I was like, nah, I don't know if you remember when in Dragon Ball Z when the androids first showed up. It was Dr. Gero, and it was a little fat Asian white one. I was like, that's Android 19 if I ever seen him with a right fatty hat on.
Yes.
I was like, he's not
little red cheeks.
Yeah, right. But like, yo, like that's what he looked like to me. But are you sure that that's Han?
Yes. Right. I know for sure.
You don't need to look it up. You don't need to look it up. I'll look it up after. But like, what's you call it? Like, I enjoy that character.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad to hear it. All right. Well,
I like where the story's at. I hope we don't stay with this Princess Leia thing.
So I'm hoping that they incorporate Luke at some point.
Yeah.
It's like
I like the relationship that he has with Owen, like his parents and stuff like that. They just they don't bang with Obi-Wan. They're like, stay away from our kids.
Right. Get away from us. He's safe. This is where you brought him. This is where he's gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would like to see more Luke involved, but maybe that's like could be a potential season 2, just like all of Leia, then all of Luke. Maybe season 3 is of both together. So
that's the thing with canonically, like how things happen. It's like these certain things have been written or whatever. Because, like, honestly, there shouldn't be a lot of exciting stuff for Obi-Wan Kenobi to do. Because, for the most part, like, all he did was just stay around the perimeter and, like, be like this, like, hey, it's old Ben coming over and stuff like that. Like, he didn't do much, like, in this time frame. Like, they're kind of, like, making up stuff for him to do.
Right.
Because, like, I did watch the animated series, like, Star Wars, The Clone Wars. And it's like, he's in it, and he's one of the last episodes. And, like, nobody knows that he's there. Nobody stuff like that. And it's like, the person who winds up finding him is Darth Maul. Because he's been trying to find him, like, hunt him down, like, forever.
Right.
And he's just like, what are you doing here? And he's like, you're here because you're protecting something. And then that's when Obi-Wan has to like stand up. And then stuff like that. He's like, you're here protecting it. He's important. It's the chosen one, isn't it? And it's like, hey, listen, like you can leave here. We can leave things where it is, stuff like that. And Darth Maul's like, nah, I'm gonna body you, then I'm gonna body home. And Kenobi's like, that's the way you want to do it. And it's just like, it was a really dope
I kind of want to ask that episode. Is it the Clone Wars?
Yeah, it was like the TV show. It's like 5 seasons. It's a really good show.
I'm not gonna watch 5 seasons.
But it's like all the characters that like you see now, like the Ahsoka Tano and like all that stuff, like they all come from the Clone Wars. Gotcha. Like there was a whatchamacallit, like there's a scene where they have one of the stormtroopers in the Kenobi thing where he's like asking for change. And I don't know if you noticed, but this guy that plays Boba Fett is the whatchamacallit because all the clones are technically Jango Fett, his dad. So like But it's like the character that he is a character from the Clone Wars and stuff like that. The end of Boba Fett, like that, the assassin with the hat with the blue face, like he's from the Clone Wars and stuff like that. Like it was a big deal when these people started showing up. It's a really, really good show, but like it does. I will give everybody this warning. It's one of those ones where it takes a minute to get into it because like they weren't sure if they were gonna get another season. Right. So it was just like, oh, we're gonna do like some like goofy stuff or whatever. But then once they found out, like, oh, we're here to stay, like they really start putting some dope stuff into the show.
Yeah, and that's where the character first came from with the dreads. That's like part of her skin.
The dreads that's part of her skin.
Yeah, she's a Jedi. She's got like a pink face, and she's got like the dreads that come off of her head.
You talking about Ahsoka Tano? She's orange and has the white things, like tentacles.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. I didn't know her name. My bad.
Yeah, the one Rosario Dawson plays.
Yes. There you go. Good job. All right.
She's Anakin's apprentice in the Clone Wars.
Yes.
Like, that's how she comes up.
There you go. And she's also looking after Grogu.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Hanging out with Luke and whatnot.
Word. All right. So we got one more show. I do not watch this show, but I do see that it has new episodes. Young Justice.
So I wanted to talk about it now because we just had the finale.
Okay.
So like I've been watching it the whole season, but I kind of didn't want to talk about it because like
season finale or series finale?
they leave it open where it's like if they want this to be the series finale, it could be the series finale.
Somebody died.
A lot of people died. Like this was like it is one of the best interpretations that we've seen of the DC universe, like in general. This is the 4th season of the show. They titled what the problem that happened with this show is it came out on Cartoon Network. Apparently it didn't sell enough toys, so Cartoon Network dropped it. Then it wound up getting picked up by other things, and then like that network dropped it. Then they got picked up by something else. So like this last season has been on HBO Max. It's called Young Justice Phantoms.
It's an animated show, right?
It's animated.
Okay.
It's kind of like
HBO Max.
Yeah.
So is it like
some of the stuff
not for children?
No, it's definitely a kid's show, but like they're not afraid to show people getting their arms broken and then like bleeding from their mouth. They're not afraid to show those type of things. Gotcha. People get like their helmets crushed in and stuff like that or whatever. But it's like they'll never show like a head. Like it's not The Boys. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not crazy like that. But like I would say it's like the grown up version of the Teen Titans show that everybody used to watch because it does because the Young Justice is the formation of like the young team. They're not called the Teen Titans in there. They're just called like the team. But there's everybody's sidekicks. So it starts off where it's like it's Aqualad, it's Kid Flash, it's Artemis, who's the Green Arrow's sidekick. It's Miss Martian, who's the cousin of the Martian Manhunter. Robin, Superboy, and stuff like that. Like that's how it starts, and then it grows as the show goes further. But like this season in particular, it seems like they had a initiative almost to like tackle like a lot of hot button issues. So like they tackle things like immigration, racism, acceptance of just people different than you. Like they do like the gay, like a lot of characters come to terms with their sexuality, their depression, the PTSD from fighting crimes and like all this stuff. Like they do a lot of this stuff. So this season in particular, they expand because the cast is so expansive now that it's almost like Stranger Things. Where Stranger Things, like they're all together, but they're never all in the same room doing the same thing. They're always off doing different missions. So like they're like the season starts off in Mars. And it's like they're on Mars and they're dealing with a lot of stuff. And then there's another part of the season where they go to where it's Atlantis and like the crazy stuff that's going on underwater. Then another part of the season is like a magical element. So like you get to see a lot of the mystic heroes doing type of stuff like that. But then like towards the end, which I think it really, really kicks into gear, is it starts to go to like Apocalypse and like New Gods and stuff like that, which then wraps itself into the like Kryptonians. So like we go to the Phantom Zone and we find General Zod and like all that type of stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff going on. Dark Sides, like a lot of this stuff. It's like it's a lot of big stuff like that they start putting in here. I thought it was really the finale made me tear up because it's like we got to see like a conclusion from some characters that we were with from the very, very beginning. And then like the thing is with these superhero shows, and like they're not afraid to tackle the issue is like a lot of times like superheroes don't get happy endings. A lot of times like they lose their lives on the battlefield. Like villains will go after them for one thing or another. But we do get a happy ending for like two characters and stuff like that. And it's like it felt refreshing and it felt like really well done and well deserved. So like it was really, really dope and I really enjoyed it. And it's like if you're into animated shows, especially if you're into the DC universe, I think you should give Young Justice a shot. It's on HBO Max.
I'll give it a couple episodes. I'll let you know that. I'll let you know. All right. Let's see. Oh, that was it. We on to Popcorn Papi.
There was no other shows that we were supposed to watch?
No.
Because we're all caught up on The Boys.
Yep.
Right. I feel like I had to watch something else. I don't know. I know I was watching The Challenge and it turns out I was on the wrong season. But we could go. Don't stop. Pop that. Popcorn Papi it is.
All right. So first movie is a movie coming out. And then we have two that's already out.
Okay.
So the first one is called, I believe it's The Man from Toronto.
Okay.
So I don't know if you heard of this movie or not.
I know. It sounds like a Drake movie. Sounds like a Drake movie. Go ahead.
So it is going to be a Netflix release and it's starring Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson.
Okay.
So Kevin Hart finds himself in a situation where he's around like some people who get killed. So it seems like a comedic thriller maybe or comedic action.
Where True Story was just serious. Like this one is not as serious.
Right.
Okay.
So they're about to kill Kevin Hart or something like that. And they're like, are you the guy? He's like, yeah, I'm the man. I'm the man from Toronto. So like it ends up getting him out of a bunch of stuff. And then like the police show up and they're like, oh, we need you to continue to be the man from Toronto so we could try to bust all these other people.
So they make Kevin Hart pretend to be some sort of
the man
hitman
from Toronto.
Okay.
The actual man from Toronto is Woody Harrelson, and he shows up, and now Kevin Hart's like, hey man, I ain't know it was you. I'm not really the guy from Toronto. We know you the guy from Toronto, but like Woody's like, no, you need to keep doing this, so I need to find out how good the cops are onto my tail so I can try to get away from all this stuff. So he's like working with the cops, but with Woody, and I'm assuming he's going to build a relationship with Woody Harrelson to where they become friends. He's like, forget the police. We'll see how it goes.
A begrudging relationship.
Right. It does look pretty funny. I'm going to see what happens. But it seems like it's going to be like a lot of Kevin Hart going, oh, what's happening? Hey, I didn't do that. And then Woody Harrelson is being like, yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we'll see how entertaining it is. If it's not, I will definitely let you know. But
I'll let you know. It's a Kevin Hart vehicle. I'm probably not going to check it out when it first comes out.
Yeah. I'm not in a rush to watch it, but because of the two people that are in it, I am going to give it a shot. Definitely going to watch it on my phone. Huh?
I said, I do like me some Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, watch it.
It's a movie, not a show, right?
It's a movie.
Okay.
It's a movie. Yep. Next we had the movie Hustle that was just released.
I tried to watch it last night, but it was the game was on.
So you don't have to watch it.
Okay. All right.
So
I did see some scenes.
So this is so it is something.
What is Hustle?
All right. So Hustle is a movie about basketball, and Adam Sandler plays a scout for the Sixers who goes out and finds talent.
Okay.
So during that time, early in the movie, the owner of the Sixers tells him, I don't want you on the road anymore. You've been missing time with your family, which oddly is a weird couple because his wife in the movie is Queen Latifah. Just seeing them together and like.
There's so many people that you could have told me was his wife, and that was out of expected.
Bro, when they made they did the little pet kiss on scene, I was like, oh, cringy. They're like laying in the bed having conversation. I'm like, this does not look like it matches at all. It's like,
this is also funny for like Adam Sandler because like Adam Sandler is known for like every time that he picks a wife for his movie, he picks like these insanely beautiful, like Salma Hayek was his wife, like and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like he usually gets like the hot Jennifer Aniston,
right?
Drew Barrymore, like those are the people that end up being like when you told me
Queen,
that she's not on that level. I'll tell you right there.
Man.
If I had a choice to pick a bunch of people, I'm not choosing the Equalizer to be my wife. That's for sure.
Well, Queen Latifah is his wife, and he's been on the road all the time, missing his daughter's birthdays and stuff like that. So the owner of the Sixers makes him an assistant coach. Right after he does it, because it's not in writing, he dies. So the son takes over the team, which doesn't see eye to eye with Adam Sandler, and he instantly puts him back on the road. And he's like, if you want to not be on the road, find me the next guy. So the next guy is this kid from Spain that he finds, and he has to like get him ready for the combine and get people to believe that he is the guy. And one of his nemesis in the movie is Anthony Edwards from none other than the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Who everybody's telling me is did fantastic in his
Rookie of the Year acting job. He's
right.
literally the reason I watched the entire movie because I was like, he's gonna pop up again sooner or later. This kid is built for the camera. If his career in basketball does not work out, he should definitely get a job in acting because he is good at it. He is good. Like it wasn't like you know how sometimes you watch basketball players act and they're like, Kenny the Jet Smith is in the movie.
Okay.
Also did a great job.
Okay.
But there are some
usually the key example is Ray Allen and He Got Game.
Right.
It was like who was very like oof. Like it's like some scenes he's really good.
It's just a really good movie, and you just happen to be in it.
Yeah.
No, Anthony Edwards helped make the movie. Okay. He did really good with his job. Tobias Harris has a part in the movie. He doesn't really have any lines. He's just playing ball. But there's a number of guys who show up like Seth Curry, Kyle Lowry. There's a number of basketball players in here, and not just players, owners, former players. Like Adam Sandler, you know he loves basketball, so he really made sure to put all these people in here. And it's almost like a Where's Waldo if you're noticing that these people are in the movie. But it's basically the tug on your heartstrings, feel good story about the kid who he gets from Spain who can play, but people question if he can, and they're trying to do everything to make sure that he can't. And he has the troubled past, and then eventually he does end up making it. You know what I mean? So
why would you tell me that? Like I was planning on watching this movie.
You can tell that this is what's going to happen. If you do not know that this is what's going to happen, then you kind of.
If I'm not mistaken, the kid that plays him is the Hernan Gomez, right?
Yes.
Is Juancho?
Yes. It's I think it's a really dope movie.
Okay.
I will say it's a really dope movie. It's not something that you have to rush to go see, but if you're
It's not a
kicking
bad
it,
watch.
if you're kicking it and you need something to watch, it's definitely worthy
Is
of
it
the
long?
watch. Nah, maybe an hour and a half.
Oh, that's not
Little
bad at
over
all.
An hour and a half. No, you can
It's
get
like a
through
90s
it.
movie, baby.
Right,
I can do that.
Yeah, you can get through it. But like I said, Anthony Edwards stole the show for me.
Okay.
He definitely stole the show.
I've heard that from a number of people. It's not just you.
Juancho didn't do bad either, though.
Okay.
Like him being the main character with Adam Sandler, he didn't do a bad job either.
How was Adam Sandler?
He was Adam Sandler.
Okay.
He was great.
Was he serious Adam Sandler, or what, did we get some goofy Adam Sandler in there?
No, you got some jokes here and there, but for the most part, it is a serious movie.
Okay.
It is a serious movie. But other than that, it is pretty dope. But he doesn't end up making it for the Sixers. I was just trying to be funny with you. So, because that's the team Adam Sandler works for. He does not make. No, I'm being serious. He does not.
Stop telling me what happens in this movie.
So maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't.
Jesus.
Look. See, now all of a sudden, I have brought back the interest. Okay.
No.
But it is, like I said, it's just like one of those feel-good movies of like starting from the bottom and then trying to get somewhere.
Rags to riches.
Yeah, there you go. So it's a worthy watch when you don't have anything going on and you just need something on.
Maybe not rags to riches, but it's definitely like the underdog story.
There you
so
go.
You're not supposed to make it.
Right.
It was kids from the mean streets of Spain.
Right. So yeah, for some reason Jaleel White is in this movie.
What was that?
For some reason, Jaleel
Does
White.
he play a basketball player?
No, he plays a talent scout.
Okay, all right.
He plays a talent scout as well.
That's fine.
And he's mad rude to Adam Sandler.
I'm not gonna lie,
I can't see Urkel playing a jerk. I can't even see Stefan playing a jerk.
Jerkle.
But you got Jerkle. But he's definitely. I think he has like 3 scenes. But it was just good to see Jaleel White on the TV again. It's just like why did you have to make him this guy? But
he has a TV show.
Excuse me.
Jaleel White has a TV show. I think it's called like Jaleel or something like that too.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
About what?
I think it's one of those like. I'm trying to think. It's like a sitcom, but it's like, remember the Carlisles?
Yep.
It's like a show like that.
Wow. It'd probably been better if it was a show about him after being Urkel.
Did I ever tell you like my connection to Jaleel White?
What?
I have pictures in my house for the evidence of this too. My mom went on a date with Jaleel White at one point in time. Time out.
Your mom went on a date with Urkel.
I cannot wait to take this segment and put it on here because this story gets crazier as it goes along. So my mom takes a trip to Martha's Vineyard one weekend, right?
Okay.
So she comes back from the trip and then I asked her, I was like, how was your trip? Mind you, at this time I am 12, 13 years old, something like that. But it was just like, hey, how was your trip? Did you have a good time? Something. She was like, oh, I had an amazing time. Mm-hmm. So she's telling me about certain stuff. And then she was like, yeah, and I went out to dinner. Well, with I met somebody out there. We went out to dinner and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh. And I was like, well, where is he? Like, you didn't bring him back with you? She was like, no, because I don't think and stuff like that. And she was like, actually, I think you might know who he is.
What?
And I was just like, oh, like somebody from here type of deal? And she was like, no. She goes, it was Jaleel White. And I was just like, I don't know who that is. She was like, Steve Urkel. And I was like,
yo.
I was like, I need you to run that by me one more time.
You were Laura Winslow?
So she goes, this is how she starts off. She goes, yeah, I ran into him. She's like, the funny thing is before I ran into him, like maybe like an hour or two later, I was hanging out over by like this pier or whatever. And this really, really tall guy comes up to me and he tries to ask me out for the night, but he was such a jerk that I said no to him. And I was just like, oh, like, was he famous? She goes, yes, he actually is. She goes, he's a basketball player. And I was like, I'm sorry? And I was like, how tall was he? She was like, he had to be like almost 7 feet tall. And she was just like, he was bald head. He had
Don't say Shaq.
It's not Shaq. It's not Shaq. My mom knows who Shaq is.
Okay.
But she was like, yeah, people were going like crazy for him being all around. She's like, I can't remember what his name was. Something Daylight, something. Who is it? Who do you think it is? Take your shot. She's like daylight, sun, sunshine, something like that. And like I'm throwing out a bunch of players' names. I was like, oh, like, do you mean this person? This person? She was like, no, it had something to do like something like that. And I was just like, oh, I don't know. She goes, yeah, he played for the team in Charlotte. And I was like, are you talking about Alonzo Mourning? And she's like, yeah, Alonzo Mourning. And she Daylight.
Sunshine.
Yo,
why is this happening?
So I'm like, I was like, Bob, are you trying to sit here and tell me that right now? Alonzo Mourning, who at this point in time just signed with like the Miami Heat, I think, or whatever. Alonzo Mourning, the starting all-star center, asked you out on a date. And she goes, yeah. And I said no, because he was being such a jerk about like everything. Yo. Like he was acting like he was doing me a favor by asking me out on a date.
Wow.
So she goes, later on, I wind up like on like the boardwalk or like whatever it is. I see whatchamacallit, Jaleel White, and like he's there's a bunch of people that are like, hey, Urkel, whatever. And she's like, I stopped and I looked at him, I was like, Jaleel? And he immediately turned completely around. And he goes, yeah? And she was like, oh, I just wanted to say hi or whatever. And then like he was kind of like, no one ever calls me by like my real name. Everybody calls me Urkel. It's one of the most annoying things. She was like, I figured that would be annoying, so which is why I called you Jaleel. And then like they had like some sort of conversation. He was like, hey, like, I don't know where you're headed right now, but would you like to go to dinner with me? Type of deal.
Wow.
And they went to dinner and stuff like that. And then like I guess they went to separate ways, but she said she saw them the next day. They went to lunch the second day together. What? So I have 2 pictures of my mom with Jaleel White over a bunch of
nuts.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
And like I was at an age where it was like, I'm like, I know what's going on, something like that. So I was like, so you try to tell me
you chose Urkel?
Yeah, I was like,
no,
I'm like, you try to tell me my stepdad could have been Steve Urkel, and you came back here empty-handed? She was like, shut up. It was not like that. I was just like, no. And I was like, let me go get some bum-ass Springfield niggas. And we did. I was like, yo.
Shout out to the bum.
Terrible pussy management.
Yo!
Sorry, Mom.
Yo, this brother's tripping, man. We moving on.
You can clip it out.
Yo, I can't do this, man.
Was the story worth it?
Yes, the story was worth it. You're still wild. All right, man. I know you went to see Jurassic Park this morning.
I did. It was Jurassic Park Dominion, if I'm not mistaken, is the name of it.
I didn't know it had
yeah, because I think the last one was Fallen
Kingdom or whatever it's called.
I think the first one is Jurassic World, and the next one was Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and I think this is Jurassic World Dominion. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Where we all died because we were idiots in this movie.
Okay, have you seen the last couple movies?
Yes.
Okay, so like for those who haven't, Jurassic World takes place like a number of years after the original Jurassic Park. They wind up finding out these dinosaurs are still alive on the island. They create yet another theme park this time. Like it's like a legit amusement park. Obviously, things go awry in the first movie. They pretty much abandoned the island in the first movie. The second movie is people think it was cruel that we abandoned them over there. So some people go to the island and take some dinosaurs back with them, and it becomes like a big underground market where they're selling off some of the dinosaurs. They actually nuke the dinosaur island in the second movie. It's like a really sad scene. But at the end of that movie, because of there winds up being like this big escape, stuff like that. So now Jurassic Park Dominion, dinosaurs are fully integrated into our society. And it is not Flintstones like you think it is. Like people are getting wrecked by these dinosaurs like in this movie. And so like the movie starts off with a pretty interesting premise. What would life be like if we had to maneuver around the fact that dinosaurs are just around? Like they have like a lot of great
cavemen.
You would think so, but like we're a far more advanced society now, so we should have better weapons. We could create certain things to get them out and stuff like that. But it's like they kind of very quickly abandoned that. So like I said, like it's a pretty interesting.
You got a rocket launcher somewhere to kill this T-Rex.
Right? Yeah, but like
it's just small little bombs, like speak.
But like for instance, like they show like Chicago, and it's like at the top of one of the Chicago skyscrapers is like a pterodactyl nest.
A what?
A pterodactyl nest?
No, what'd you say before that?
Chicago skyscraper?
That sounds like you said skyscraper.
Did I?
I'm gonna watch this video back.
Did I have a stroke and I missed it? All right. Thanks for pointing that out to everybody. I appreciate it. But on one of the Chicago skyscrapers, they have a pterodactyl nest because like that's what pterodactyls would do. They would go to the highest point and try to create a nest. And it's like people just kind of just keep it moving type of deal. But then there are like, some places where they have to like abandon some airports because like pterodactyls are around there, so they're just taking down things as soon as they come or whatever. There's a lot of people who live like in the countryside, and it's like, oh yeah, like we're gonna just have a walk through the forest. Oh yeah, except for the fact that there's a pack of velociraptors living in this forest. Like you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm trying to get to like the real premise of this movie, like the real meat of it, to narrow it down because it is like a lot of stuff to hammer in here. But like the basics of it is the kind of like the new, almost like Skynet, where it's like this new company comes up. They're called like Biosign. They're kind of like the leaders in the dinosaur research. They wind up like, getting a lot of the DNA from the dinosaurs to try and create different stuff to cure diseases such as Alzheimer's and like all this other type of stuff. So they have like their own dinosaur sanctuary that they've built. They've been able to successfully capture some dinosaurs and put them in this habitat. Okay. But you wind up finding out that they're using this also for nefarious reasons, because like Biosign also winds up creating like the seeds for crops and like all this other stuff or whatever. But they're what we don't know is what they're also doing is finding ways to splice dinosaur DNA and add it into other things. So we're getting new like animal
weaponizing it
essentially. So what they wind up doing is they find like locusts and they inject them with a certain type of DNA, which leads these locusts to eat a ton of crops. So they're severely limiting our food supply. But the only ones that they're not eating are Biosign seeds and stuff like that. So they're trying to drive up their own thing by eliminating the competition or whatever. So like that's like the real basis of
actually something human beings would do.
It is
terrible.
This movie is kind of backed by the fact that like it's really like a nostalgia fest. Because like if you don't know by watching the trailers, Dr. Alan Grant is back, Dr. Ali Sadler is back, and then they got my man Ian Malcolm,
that's the Asian
Jeff
guy?
Goldblum, Dr. Ian Malcolm, like you.
Oh yeah. But I know I've seen the Asian guy.
The Asian guy is also, he's been in all of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, but he's been in all of them. We left off this last movie. I completely forgot. And then
when they start kids in it.
No, the only kid that is in it is the kid from the second movie where like they cloned with dinosaur DNA. And there was like a big thing that like they did it, like she's in there and Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard are kind of like looking after her. She winds up getting kidnapped by the Biosign Corporation. So like that's how they end up over there. The Locust thing is how our older heroes kind of end up over there. And it's kind of just like this big like rescue mission type fest. We do get a bunch of new characters that are pretty cool. It's like they're all black characters. I noticed, by the way. I was like, oh, all the new cool characters are all black, and it's like this is what the new generation of Jurassic Park, I guess, is going to be. This movie was pretty butt cheeks. Not gonna lie, it wasn't like at the end of the day, this movie was not the great. It's probably the worst Jurassic Park movie. Okay. If I'm being honest, because like I was trying to think what is the worst one, and I was like, Fallen Kingdom was pretty bad, and then Lost World was pretty bad. This movie is pretty much like the new Lost World, where it's just like, remember, that's what they were. Like, let's bring the T-Rex to New York, and see what happens there. And like that's kind of what happens with this movie, like as well. And it's like the things that they try to draw you in with are like a lot of like old scenes, which is done differently. Like they do the thing where it's like they have like the waterfall and the T-Rex like sticks his face in, like a little bit of it's like just the teeth, and like they're like right here or whatever. But like there's not a lot that's like really happening. It's like a lot of like the bad guys in this movie, like the guy who runs the Biosign Corporation, like he's like he's a super nerd, but he's like really like it reminds me of like Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory.
Yep.
It's like, he's like really off, and he's just like, but like I don't understand why people are freaking out, or like why don't you want this? And he doesn't do anything like that. The dinosaurs are scary for the certain scenes that they're in, but like everything is like this dinosaur just missed your feet. This dinosaur just missed right here. They can only get this far. The claws are right here. That's like, and it's like you can only do that so many times before you're just like, like clearly you're not going to kill off any of these important characters or anything like that. If you're a bit person, you're just like, hey, we're here to escort you over here. You're getting bodied. Everybody else is going to be fine. Type of deal. My theater was strangely invested into this movie. I think there was a lot of kids in there. So like anytime certain things happen, like people were like standing up and clapping. And I was like, that wasn't even all that exciting.
Standing up and
They
clapping?
gave a standing ovation at the end of the movie. And I was like, oof, if there's a movie that does not deserve a standing ovation, it is this one.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah. There's no post-credit scene. If anybody does want to watch this movie, I think there is one. There was not one. I sat through those credits. so that way you didn't have
credits was better than the movie.
It was what you call it. Like, I don't know how to put it, because the movie's not like bad where it's awful. You're just like, yeesh, what am I watching? It's just boring. Like nothing happens in it for the most part. Like everybody's giving just a very base level performance. Like nothing makes you care too much about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't really care what happens to this little girl, because like she seems like she doesn't care what happens to her. Like I think the best part was Dr. Grant and Dr. Ali Sadler from the old movies. Like they kind of have like this like we probably should have got together after the first Jurassic Park movie,
but
we didn't because the first movie, he was all about not having kids and doing all this thing or whatever. She went, had some kids, did all the other stuff. But like now we've met in our 50s, 60s, however old they are in this movie.
Probably 50s.
Yeah. And it's just like, hey, like the flame is still there. Should we give this a shot? Because like, and it's like, that's probably the most interesting thing like about this movie, like for the most part. Mm-hmm. I also think Dr. Grant, I was just like, why is he in like super zaddy mode in this whole movie? Like he's just like, he's got the silver fox, like the gray beard. He's like super like giving like these looks. And I was like, yo, man, like why is Chris Pratt is in this movie. And I feel like everybody wants to bang Dr. Grant more than why they like
Chris
Pratt.
That's how it was when he was in the first movie.
He's
like the shorty in the when they first got into the truck.
Yeah.
Like, then he saw that water moving. He was like, yeah, it's just time to get up out of here.
But like, and like you could kind of see like the passing of the torch where it's like, oh, you're the new Alan Grant. You're the new, like they literally have moments where they're just like, oh, like they'll say the same thing at the same time and be like, oh, like everything, it seems like this franchise is in good hands, like type of deal.
Terrible.
Now to rank this movie. I have to do this on the nasty scale, which is full price, matinee, $5 Tuesday, Redbox, wait to stream it or skip this movie. I think you could wait to stream it. I don't think you need to actually spend money on this movie. Like, I think if you were, the $5 Tuesday, I guess is the route. But I think, like, you can wait. I'm assuming it's going to come to, like, HBO Max or something like that in, 2 months. Yeah. You can wait. There's nothing too crazy about this movie that you need to go see. We were coming off of 2 movies in a row that I felt like were fire, too. And it's like, this one was
listen, movie of the year. Movie of the year. Don't downplay that Top Gun. It's literally
I'm still waiting for you to see everything everywhere all at once, man. I think it's I'm
still in the theaters.
I'm pretty sure it's coming to HBO Max next week.
I'll watch it.
There you go.
I'll watch it. Cool. Sure you like that.
Anything else for
movies? No, we all set.
Okay.
Time for this Hardwood Check-in.
Hardwood Check-in. I hit puberty in the middle.
This man with full young Usher was like he couldn't sing no more because he hit puberty.
And then I dropped Confessions. What do you want from me?
Okay. Great shot. All right, so
let's not talk about what Diddy used to do to young Usher, but we can keep going.
Okay. So has there been 2 games since the last time we potted?
Yes, it has. Okay. We are now officially evened up. Series is 2-2. Yep. We've had 2 games since the last time that we potted, which was game 3 and game 4. Game 3 ended in the Celtics victory. Game 4 blowout. Ended with the Warriors
victory. Game 3 was a blowout, right?
Yes.
I remember because I went to sleep until halftime, and I was like, let me see what this third quarter has to offer. And then the third quarter was kind of entertaining, and then it kept not being entertaining, and then I ended up.
I feel like I remember. I don't think it was a blowout. I think it was a pretty good game, but it was just like they had
20.
I think they ended up.
Wasn't it like 97-116?
Yeah, it ended up like that, but it wasn't like that like for the whole game for the most part. It's like kind of what I'm trying to get at.
It just felt like that because it was another one of those games like they had against the Miami Heat where it was like started out like 16-4 or something like that, and it was just like, it's one of those days. Time to turn in early.
Right. But it's like it was a pretty interesting game for the most part.
Yeah, it did pick up.
I think it's pretty interesting that we still haven't had the Jason Tatum game yet. He really hasn't been great.
And if they get to this game 6, that's usually Clay time.
Yeah, we don't want to see game 6 Clay. And now you guys have to see game 6 Clay.
And it would be in Boston.
It would be in Boston. Steph Curry's been trying to do everything that he can.
Yep.
But I think the biggest thing
has been a shell of himself.
Which is what I was gonna say. The one thing that we did miss is in between game 2 and game 3, Draymond had the podcast. He called out loud the Celtics, specifically Jaylen Brown, and he guarded Jaylen Brown for a majority of game 3.
He got cooked.
They got rid-eyed. He took him to Flavor Town.
You know what Jaylen Brown has that he does not have?
What's that?
Youth. Draymond don't understand. He's creeping up on basketball old. Like he's not old as a human being, but basketball old, sports old in general, it comes pretty quickly.
It does.
And he's starting to get to that point where that man's not moving around like he used to. So the fact that you're calling out these young players, you probably should have kept your mouth shut and just allow them to make the mistakes that they've been making.
You have some nerve to call out a young player and then drop 4 points. Like you make no sense. Like you can't do that. Like he's averaging like 4.8 points per game or something like that.
This last game that they won, he had 2.
Yeah.
He had two.
I mean, him and Steph Curry combined had 42 points. So
no,
that.
45.
45.
Steph had 43 on them boys. So, do you want to get the game 4?
Yeah, I mean, game 3 was what it was. It was the Celtics played really well. Aside from Jason Tatum, they were led by Jaylen Brown. Mm-hmm. The Warriors just got cooked. Mm-hmm. It's game 4 though. Mm-hmm. That boy Steph blurry.
And I have to keep saying it, man. Like, if you're gonna say you're gonna be the guy, then when I need you to be the guy, you have to be the guy.
So this is a thing that I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
Because they keep talking about it, and I've noticed it. I don't know what's going on with Jason Tatum's shoulder. Something is up with that thing. I can see in his shot and when he's moving, it doesn't move the way that he wants it to move type of deal.
I feel like this is the Jason Tatum we've been seeing all playoffs, and everybody has been giving him more credit than what he deserves. I'm not saying that I love Jason Tatum as a player. You know me. I love the players on the Celtics. I just don't like the Celtics organization. Jason Tatum has continued to do this. He has these really highs, then he has these really low lows. And then when he's in the middle, it's really hard to understand if it's a good game or a bad game because he's taking 18 shots to get 20-something points. But nobody's considering the fact that he made 8 free throws. So it's technically you took 18 shots to get 12 points, 14 points. That's not a good shooting game. You could chuck up shots all game. If you hit a certain amount of threes, it will keep you in the game, but you still could be playing bad basketball. And I don't think he has been super consistent. And I hate to say this because every time I say it, then he goes and drops a 40 burger.
So please say it.
And then the very next game, he gives you 20-something points and it takes 20-something shots to get it. Everybody keeps saying Marcus Smart was wilding in the fourth quarter.
Hold on, because we're bypassing this.
All right, go ahead.
I think Jason Tatum is hurt. That's what I've been trying to say is they keep showing this replay from the Miami series where he really hurt his shoulder. And
I thought he barely fell on that joint.
But if I'm talking about I'm literally watching him and I can see something's up with his shoulder. And it's they keep calling it a stinger. I would not be surprised if when this series was over, they come out and they're he's been playing the playoffs with a torn labrum or a sprained this or a busted rotator cuff. Whatever the thing is, I would not be surprised what it is because you can see on his shots, on his layups, it doesn't have the same gusto on it. That's what I'm saying.
Who's one of his favorite players?
Kobe Bryant.
Would Kobe let that stop him from winning a championship?
I mean, yeah, Kobe didn't win a bunch of championships because he was hurt before.
No.
First of all, all right, hold on. That's an extremely unfair comparison. So, just because another player was able to do something hurt, you should be able to do something hurt.
No,
there's a reason why those guys are
basing your career off of the Mamba mentality. Then just play through it. Go get your ring.
I've always said the Mamba mentality is one of the most overblown things of all time. It doesn't matter
I know how you feel about
it. Doesn't matter how much of a dog you are. Injuries are injuries. Some people are freaks and they can play through them. Allen Iverson's a great example of it, where he's able to do a lot of things. Isaiah Thomas broke his ankle and played on it and did amazing things. Some people can't do that.
Tore something, came back, hit his free throws.
Yeah, a lot of people cannot do that stuff like that. And it's a shoulder for someone who's a shooter is a very, very important thing that you need to have.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
For me, I respect Jason Tatum getting to the rack. I respect that part of his game more than I respect him shooting of the threes.
Yeah, but they're putting him on the floor every time he goes in there. And it's if you have a bad shoulder and they're putting you on the floor and you fall on the shoulder and then he's out for the remainder of the series, that's a way bigger deal than if he's
I think he should keep pressing, driving the lane. And then shots will come when they come. If not, he can kick it out to other guys who can shoot the ball. If you're going to be on the court, I don't want to hear about your injuries. Because if your injuries are that bad, then sit down because you're a detriment to the team. But if you're saying that, so what I'm saying is if you're going to play and play through, then play through. All right. I don't want to hear later that we lost because of this. No, you chose to make this decision.
Yeah. And then he is playing through this stuff and he's not playing bad. He's shooting bad. Don't get me wrong, but his playmaking, his defense,
yes,
and a lot of the stuff that he's doing has been really, really up to par.
Yes.
But he just can't get the shots up that he needs to get up. But it's he's important to have on the court because he brings all those defenders to him and he stretches out everything when he's just by being out there. You can't not have somebody on him.
I just think he's really still having the very high highs and the very lows that he's been.
If you replace him and he does sit down, who enters the lineup? Neesmith?
There's nobody that you can replace Jason Tatum with.
That's what I'm saying. So it's he has to be out there.
He does. I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying play through.
He is. I'm just saying he has to play differently. I think if he wasn't injured,
I think we're saying the same thing. Because you're saying he has to play differently. That's why I'm saying he should press getting to the hoop more, getting to the free throw lane so that you get.
That's where most of his points will be coming from.
And that's what I'm saying. Get your free throw buckets, because he's a very long basketball player. He's more athletic than most of the players on the court. So like a lot of the times when he goes to the rack, I'm paying attention to where he's taking off from. And a lot of times where other people will get another step to get to the layup, he's taking off from that point and stretching to the basket, almost like Giannis would, to get to those layups, high arcing layups off the top of the backboard to get those layups in. So if you can do that stuff and nobody else is athletic enough to stay in front of you to stop you from doing that, then just keep doing it. Leave the shooting up to Jaylen Brown. Marcus Smart is knocking down the three, kick jump shout outs to him. And it makes it a lot easier for guys like Pritchard and Williams. And who's the other dude with the man bun that's not a man bun?
Not Derek White?
Yeah, Derek White. Like, these guys are all proving that, like, nobody believed in them before, but now they are helping to carry the load of being those good role players. So allow them to take those shots, and you do what you can do so you don't risk further injury, but you're still contributing. Like, if you're going to settle for a bunch of shots with a hurt shoulder, shame on you.
I think that they're putting him in the position to do that. So I don't think a lot of that is like he's like, oh, I'm going to go ISO and I'm going to do this. It's just like Jaylen Brown has been like a main, like, I'm going to the hoop guy. And like, he's been creating a lot of those. He's been really successful going to the hoop. And this is the type of Jaylen Brown that I've been waiting to see this whole time, where I've been saying that they've kind of been carrying him along. And I feel like now he's taking like a lot of the, I was going to say he would be my pick right now if they were going to do a finals MVP. I think it's Jaylen Brown.
You're not the first person I heard that from.
So like, I think Jason Tatum doing more than he's actually able to gets in Jaylen Brown and everybody's way. So it's like he is kind of like, I'm going to keep the defense honest. I'm going to take some shots when I have to take some shots when the offense is stagnant and like all this other type of stuff. But like for the most part, like I'm kind of staying out of the way because like I don't want to get in your guys' way.
Right.
And it's like I'm keeping who's on him. Andrew Wiggins is on him for the most part, right?
Yep.
So it's like I'm keeping like the number one perimeter defender that they got out here on me.
Getting cooked.
Huh?
I said, or Draymond's getting cooked.
Yeah, because like Draymond was guarding Jaylen Brown, but like they had Clay on him for a while, but like he was getting right past Clay Thompson.
Clay's lateral movement is not what it used to be.
It's not what it used to be.
He's not the same defender.
He's getting his shot back though.
Yeah, he's getting his shot back, but that lateral movement is not there. And the shot is going to be there because a lot of his stuff is catch and shoot. His feet are already set. He doesn't have to do a lot of movement. If it is, it's an up fake, step to the side, get the same shot. But when you got to stay in front of young athletic players like a Jaylen Brown, a Jason Tatum, a Marcus Smart, it's going to be a long night.
I don't understand why we haven't seen more Kuminga. Like I feel like Kuminga like is the guy that
you got to have the guys on the court that you can trust. And
you trust Draymond right now?
What I can say, I have to. The same way I have to trust an injured Jason Tatum, I have to trust scaled back Draymond because I know what he can give us on the court. What I will question is, and people have been asking me if I had to choose between Udoka and Steve Kerr, I'm going Udoka because of what he's doing with the Celtics. I always feel like Steve Kerr inherited Mark Jackson's team, but some of the lineups that he's putting out there when he's making subs just do not make sense. Like when you make subs, you have to do it based on chemistry or who's going to be your ball handler or who's going to score buckets or who's going to play defense, who's going to rebound. You know how the game goes.
Yeah.
But I looked on the court at one point, I was like, why are these guys on the court? Because he had like a Kuminga, a Iggy, and Gary all on the court at the same time with Steph. And it's like, all right, you know they're just going to start doubling Steph, and then like these guys have to score points, and it's not going to happen. I think at one point Gary Payton Jr. missed 2 dunks. One of them should have been an and one. It's like, why is he on the court right now? He's still on the court right now. Is Clay still tired?
Like Gary Payton isn't on the court to score buckets. We know Gary Payton's out there.
I get it, but I was going to say, and on the turn of that coin, he was giving up and ones, and he was getting blown by, or he's giving up the jumper. So if you're coming out here to be the glove 0.0, or you're here to lock somebody down, you can not only not give me buckets, but then get bucketed all over the place. Like it just, I don't know what Steve Kerr is thinking. Like I feel like, and that's not taking any credit away from the Celtics, because if people make mistakes, you're supposed to take precedence, or you're supposed to take advantage of those mistakes and get your wins. But Steve Kerr has made some questionable decisions with these lineups, and it has been favorable to the Celtics for them to win the games that they have won. And the games that Steve Kerr and them have won, it was real knuckle biters, like nail biters. My bad. Nail biters. So it's like you almost got to think like if these had went into overtime, or if it was sooner in the game, you could potentially lose the 2 games that you won. So I don't know, man. It's going to be a tough next 3 games.
So now it's an even series.
Yep.
Each team got a road win.
They're going back to Golden State because they have home field advantage back.
It's now officially a best of 3. Whoever can win 2 games gets it.
Well said.
We're going back to Golden State.
Yep.
We did this before last time. If you're a Golden State fan, what do you tell yourself going into this game that like you're not worried about? Because do you just want to go into like, what do you see this? Where do you think this series is headed right now?
Where I'm focused on is that we have home court advantage back.
Okay.
I'm
kidding.
We have home court advantage back,
mm-hmm.
and we shouldn't be focused on game 6 or 7. We should only be focusing on game 5 and protecting home. That way, regardless of whatever, you have 2 shots to win 1 game. And if Klay does what he's supposed to in game 6, you could end it in Boston. But if all else fails, we get to come home again and protect home. It is vitally important that they protect home this time around going back home. Because the first time they did not do it. Everybody's like, oh, they protected home. No, they didn't. They gave up a game and gave up home court advantage. Then they had to battle back to get it back. This is like, for me, I think this game 5 is a must win at home. Not for the sake, not just for the sake of winning the championship, but for protecting home. Because if the Celtics win game 6 and they feel comfortable enough coming back for a game 7, like you have to convincingly win this game. I don't care if you win by 2 or 3 points. They have to know at some point that they were not going to win this game. Because, of course, if they win it, you go back to game 6 and you win game 6, they're going to feel comfortable going back to Golden State because they have won a game there or potentially won another one or at least gave up a really good fight. Why am I scared of playing in Golden State? It feels like a second home to me. So they have to defend their home court this time around. Because if they don't, that crowd's not rocking and Steph's not hitting threes, Draymond's flying all over the floor and they win this game to the point to where it feels like they weren't going to lose it at all, then those Celtics are going to be very gritty and very hard to beat. If you're asking me, I'm saying Celtics, Golden State.
So you think we go to game 7 and Golden State wins?
Yeah. For some reason, I don't know where I got this feeling from, but I feel like the Celtics are going to win and Golden State. And game 7 is going to be a dogfight in Golden State.
If I'm a Golden State fan and I'm talking to myself, I say, see, this is what happens when our guys, Steph and Klay, do Steph and Klay type stuff. Like we could beat anybody.
Right.
We can beat anybody out here. As long as everybody plays defense and stuff like that, for the most part, like Steph Curry can still carry this team offensively and do what they need to do. If I'm the Celtics, I go, that was the best effort that they had. Steph dropped 43.
We took their hardest punch.
Klay Thompson dropped 27. And it was like, they looked like they gave everything that they had in order to get this, what was it, an 8-point victory?
Yeah,
something like that. They looked like they were done after that.
Even more importantly, I'm telling myself, in my first NBA Finals appearance, I am tied 2-2 with 3-time champs.
Yes. I think if we could keep letting Steph do that, because like Derek White did not give Steph Curry easy buckets. He was making some insane baskets. So like my thing is like, if we can just make sure that Klay doesn't drop plus 20, I think this is an easy dubs for us, because it's like we've already proven. Yes, the Celtics. I've been going for the Celtics.
We know.
Yes. I speak French. I already told you I'm getting a Dominican God jersey.
Oh my
stuff like
goodness.
That. But like, Draymond has been shut down this entire time. Gary Payton and like all these other guys off the bench, they're not really giving them anything offensively. They're all doing defense stuff. Wiggins has actually been insanely important in this series, and he's probably been their most consistent person throughout all these games. But like we can keep hitting these Wiggins punches, or we can keep taking these Wiggins punches. Klay Thompson, when he starts getting rolling and like we're letting him get these shots and like we're letting him get these pin down threes, is killing us. And like we need to figure out that piece. The real missing piece. And the thing is like, this is the main thing, is like, where has the Jordan Poole game been? Where is we haven't even gotten good Jordan Poole, I feel like, in any of these games. He's been like lost in the sauce. Like he's actually looked bad, if anything.
First time there, man.
He looks like he doesn't belong.
First time there.
And it's like, it seems like the Celtics are kind of exploiting it like a bit. And it's like, if I were them, like I would kind of double down on that. Like I would put Marcus Smart on Jordan Poole. And it's like, I'm going to make sure you give us nothing. I'm going to make sure that you turn the ball over. And like Derek White's going to guard Klay Thompson. And we're going to put like someone like Jaylen Brown on Steph. There's like just taller, never jump at any of his threes. Like just put your hands up and just follow him around and just do that. Just annoy him.
I like that, coach.
That's just like where I'm at with it. It's just like, literally Steph Curry is beating us every night. Like everybody else. And like, this is the best Steph Curry game that he's had so far.
Yep.
Granted, he had the game one where he dropped 27.
He was unconscious.
Steph Curry's having the type of game when every time he shoots, you go, and then when he misses, you're surprised that he missed.
It was beginning of the second quarter, and he hit a three, and he turned around and started screaming.
Yeah.
I was like, it's about to be a long night. It's about to be a long night. Because he hadn't even eclipsed 15 points yet.
Yeah.
But you could tell
when he hit style shot.
When he hit that three, like, like when you get into your bag and you feel a certain way, you're just like, ooh, that, mind you, he did that while he was walking towards the Celtics bench. And I was just like, it's about to be a long night. It's about to be a long night. And it was.
Yeah. I'm personally, I
Next
think
game is when? Tuesday? Monday.
No, it's Tuesday because they're going back to Golden State.
Right.
I think we go Tuesday and then Thursday. I think it's Tuesday, Thursday, and then Game 7
Sunday.
would technically be Sunday.
Got you.
I think this is done in 6. I think the Celtics, if they really focus on it, could wrap this up in 6 games. I do think that was a Herculean effort by Steph Curry. I think that was the best they could have gotten from Klay Thompson. If Draymond's going to give them anything, then it's like that's something to count on. If Jordan Poole decides to start playing good basketball again, but like aside from that, like I feel like they took the Warriors' best punch. That's where I'm at with it, and it's just like I said, Tatum hasn't played great. The people who've been playing great for the Celtics are Derek White for the most part. Like he's been playing out of his mind.
Williams fell off the map.
Yeah, Marcus Smart's just been okay this whole series. Even Al Horford, he's been having scoring wise, like not much there, but like rebounding and stuff like that has been really good. Robert Williams has not been good. So like it really has been just Jaylen Brown carrying this team for the most part. It's a testament to both teams' defense. The reason why these guys aren't doing well, like they're not like these guys aren't trash and they're just missing shots. Like they're playing great defense on them, and they're it's hard for them to get good looks. But we haven't gotten a good Tatum game yet. Haven't gotten a great Al Horford. Actually, I take that back. Game 1 was a great Al Horford game. Stuff like that. I think it's still out there, and it's like I think that they can end this in 6. That's where I'm at with it.
We shall soon find out.
We shall.
All right. I think we're done there.
Okay.
All right. You ready to head over to the Blitz?
Do we have something for the Blitz?
It's just 2 things.
All right. Man, get out my way. Watch out as I come through. Busting in your line, cracking numbers in 2. When I bring the pain, then what you gonna do? Then lace up your cleats and get shook out your shoes. Clean out your locker. I'm out to get you. What you want? No rock in the palm of my hand. What you got? I got John Madden.
I missed that.
Yeah,
I missed that.
It's been a while.
All right, so the Raiders extended Hunter Renfrow.
That's really why you wanted to bring up the Blitz.
Yes, I did. 2 years, $32 million.
All right, well deserved.
Something light, but it keeps him around. I'm hoping that they did that so we could free up a little bit of space to keep Darren Waller around, but who knows?
I would hope so.
But I hear Raiders camp is looking really good. The only
who are you hearing this from?
The only side I talked to the Raiders.
That's like because we know like your only news source is like Raiders media, so it's like you're at the RaidersMafia.com. Like,
I am.
Like, oh, I hear things are amazing.
Well,
Josh Jacobs is looking like Adrian Peterson.
I'm trying to get Josh's number.
Right.
McDaniel.
I guess.
So we can. But the only sour note for OTAs is the fact that Josh Jacobs has not shown up yet.
Okay.
So it's been 2 weeks now and nobody's heard from him. So I think he's definitely pretty upset about the fact that he hasn't had a contract renewal yet, and also
I thought they picked up his option. Am I wrong about that?
I don't think so. And the fact that everybody's talking real crazy about this kid Zamir White. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I just picked him up in my rookie draft.
Yeah, so if your team goes out and drafts a running back and then contract negotiations look crazy, it's almost kind of like you get paid if you play.
I'm still stuck on this Josh Jacobs being 24 thing. Like I was like, I thought that brother was 30.
Nah, man.
I feel like he's been in the league forever.
He's already lived a whole life before this life. That's what it was, man. That being homeless stuff is real.
That's true.
So
6 years off. He has Jimmy Butler.
Yeah. So I think this is gonna be like a perform and get paid type year. If Josh Jacobs outperforms everybody else, then he will get the contract that he's looking for. My concern is that at that point, if they're forcing him to do that, does he even want to stay?
I mean, but that's the give and take from contract years, right?
Right.
It's like usually that's when you get the best years out of someone because like they're playing for a contract.
Mm-hmm.
But then like sometimes like they do a little too much, and then it's like now you can't afford them.
Right.
So
we can get away from that. I did have one more thing.
Okay.
Because it wasn't just about the Raiders. I brought something for Joel as well.
Okay.
Your boy, Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Put out there that he feels like Tua is more accurate than Patrick Mahomes. Have you heard?
I did hear that.
What do you think?
I think he's capping.
I love the honesty.
Listen, I tell you all the time. I am very unbiased in my opinions, and it's like you're gonna sit here trying to tell me that Patrick Mahomes, who's possibly the best quarterback in the league, and like is already cemented that he's one of the 15 greatest quarterbacks of all time. He's one of the greatest throwers of the football I've ever seen in my entire life. Is better than Tua, who like they can barely hold his own start. They had Jacoby Brissett playing mid.
This man throws accurate no-look passes
in a
football game.
I've seen this brother throw a 25-yard dart from like his knee.
Yes.
And and throw a touchdown.
Well, he was like, about to get tackled.
I've seen Tua wide open overthrow somebody. You go sit here and tell me the other dude's more accurate. I still like Tua, and I think people are severely sleeping on him, and he's about to have like a really big year. But like, there's no way they're in the same league.
Anything to build this kid's confidence right now.
Did you hear the other thing that he said about the what his son said?
No.
He goes, a lot of the times, like in my games, like my son will call me, and he's like, I don't know why, but I feel like for some reason my son always likes to bring up. He's like, Dad, I was just watching Lamar Jackson, and I think he's faster than you. He's got to be faster than you. And he's like, yo, you said this like 8 weeks in a row, bro. Like, yo, shut up. Like, he's like, so now I got to give it to Lamar Jackson. Like when I see him, he's like, anytime he wants to race, we can race.
That's hilarious.
Didn't he just lose a race to like Micah Parsons, like during the not the All-Star Pro Bowl? Didn't they have like that big race that Micah Parsons won?
Yes. I don't think Tareek was really running though.
Okay.
I don't think he was really running. He would easily smoke Michael Parsons. I don't care what you say, man. I don't care what you say.
I can't remember who else was in that race, but I just remember Michael Parsons won. I was like, let's go.
Owens.
T.O. was in that?
No, that was on the beach. I think that was something that him, T.O., and Chad was doing. Okay. I might be wrong. It might even,
what happened with that race?
Might have even been there. I think it might have been Chad, Ocho, and Brandon Marshall.
And who won that race?
I want to say T.O.
Shit. Okay.
I want to say T.O.
Impressive.
Yeah, that is a freak of nature, though. So,
you know
what I mean? But yeah, that's all we have for the Blitz.
Okay.
You want to move on over to them heavyweight lovers?
Let's do it. What you won't do for love. You tried everything and you won't give up. Pew, pew.
Hey. All right, so this one's an easy one, quick one.
Oh, it's a quick one. Okay.
But it is definitely important.
Okay.
Right? This one is entitled because we're titling these things now. I think it's pretty.
You don't
dope.
have to.
I think it's really dope. But I call this one "Respect the Silence."
Okay.
All right. So you're always going to get to. I won't say always, but at some point in your marriage, all right, you should know the person that you have married after spending all this time together, like the back of your hand.
Okay.
They should also know the same thing about you, right? So every time you guys have alone time, or you're spending time together, or you're just kicking it around the house. It doesn't always have to be like in an event to hang out with the person that you love. So sometimes there may be days where you're just like sitting in the living room on the couch and you're literally not saying anything to each other. It doesn't mean that things are bad. Like some people take this as a warning sign, like, man, we sat in this living room for an hour. You ain't say 2 words to me. We were just both on our phones, or we were watching a movie, but we weren't sitting close. You was over there and I was over here. Sometimes it's good to just enjoy another person's company. And you don't always have to use words to do so. Like I always say and I will continue to say, like when you tell somebody you love them, it's great to say it, but I feel like love is an action word. So you should be showing people how you love them as much as you're telling them, you know what I mean? So like us hanging out, and if we're just enjoying each other's company, it doesn't mean that we have to ultimately be doing something in order to be to be deeply madly in love, or to be this married couple, or even if you're not married and you're just kicking it, like if you've been with somebody for a while and you're not married, because I know that is a thing these days too, and just being around somebody should be good enough. You know, don't feel like you always have to go above and beyond to keep somebody with you, because if you always feel like that, then you're straining the relationship to the point to where you're running out of options, and then you're more concerned of if this person's going to lose you rather than enjoying being with them. I think one of my favorite examples of this is, I don't know if you ever watch Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
All right. So Raymond and his wife go out to dinner, and they're literally just like they didn't need to go out to dinner. They could have been at home, but they went out to dinner because when you have free time and the kids aren't around, I guess this is what you're supposed to do as a married couple. And they're literally sitting at the table, like not talking. And they're just like, all right. Raymond picks up the bread at one point. It's like, this bread is the perfect temperature / density. Like,
I know exactly
just trying to find something to say. And when they get home, Raymond wants to make love to his wife. And she's like, wait, we just had dinner and you ain't say all of 2 words to me about some stinking bread. And now you expect me to go in the bedroom with you? And Raymond's confused, like, wait, what? And it becomes this whole big argument till they go and visit his parents. And he literally sees them not talking, but navigating their whole life together. Like, she's bringing his dad a sandwich, and then he looks at her and she hands him the remote, and then he gets up and grabs something and gives it to her. But there's no words being said at this whole time, but it's just like a connection. And they're like, man, this is kind of weird. And they end up leaving and apologizing to each other. Like, is what it's supposed to be like? I'm not saying that's what it is, but it just don't feel like you have to overextend in order to have a happy marriage. Like, just enjoying each other's presence. It is okay. It's okay to be silent sometimes.
One of my favorite comedians of all time, rest in peace to the god, Patrice O'Neal.
Ooh.
That
is a good one.
One of his best bits is he goes, ladies, I want you to understand something. The second that your man falls in love with you, he stops liking you.
I do remember that one.
He's like, he's like, let me explain something to you, ladies, and I feel like it's gonna blow your mind, but every man in here will understand this when I say this. Every man doesn't want to be by ourselves, but we want to be alone. Like, I want you in the house. I just don't want you right here. Like, be over there loving me. Just don't be right here. And it's like, I understood that with every fiber of my being. I'm like, yo, you don't understand.
Every fiber.
Another one of my favorite comedians is Bill Burr. And another one of his big bits, he's just like, you want to know what the thing that drives me crazy about women is? Like, they love to find out that you have an empty spot in your schedule. They're like, hey, you want to just fill it with some shit that you don't want to do? You want to go to the farmer's market? And you're like, no. But of course, I'm going to go to the farmer's market because that's what you want to do. Otherwise, we're going to have a fight about the fact that I didn't want to spend time with you at the farmer's market.
Yes.
And it's just like, it's just a funny, happy medium because it's like, I understand that wholeheartedly where it's like, I love you and I want nothing more than to be with you. But also there are some times where I just don't want to be around you at all. And that should be okay. Right. But it's usually okay for one sex, not for the other.
Right. I think one of the funniest things I've seen recently was like a Instagram clip when the dude was like, yes, we haven't talked. Yes, we're just sitting here kicking it. No, I'm not mad at you. No, I don't. No, I do not love you anymore. We're just chilling. Can we just chill?
Can I just chill?
Right. So it's just like, and like you said, it's usually like, it's not always the female too, because you do have some clingy men out here sometimes.
I've been told I've been quite clingy before.
Oh, you'd be all right.
I'm doing just fine.
There you go. But I just feel like sometimes we're just so caught up in thinking that you have to be doing something in order to express how you care. Like, it's just like, if I enjoy your presence and you enjoy my presence, then let's just kick it. Let's put our feet up and enjoy this little bit of silence that we have, because you never know when the kids are coming home or when somebody's going to come to visit, or when you just like,
I don't know how y'all do that kids thing, man.
Right. A lot of like, like a lot of the reasons why we do a lot of the stuff that we do is so that we can enjoy the downtime. So why have the downtime and then try to fill it with a bunch of stuff that you really don't want to do, or spend money that you don't really want to spend? You're just doing it just for the sake of saying, we did this together as a couple. Like, we could have been chilling at the crib as a couple.
I think to like really narrow it down to what you're trying to say is like, don't force it.
Yes. There you go.
Just let it happen. Like, let it happen naturally.
There you go.
Like, we don't have to try like this wild, crazy restaurant just because like we haven't done anything in a while. Like, sometimes like you're just hungry for Domino's.
Right.
And it's just like, that's what you really want, is like, you're hungry for a certain thing. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, we can get that ordered here and watch a movie. Mm-hmm. And it's like, sometimes you just need to recharge your batteries. Like sometimes like it's not, what does it say? You don't have to do the keeping up with the Joneses. Well, it's like, when you see like, oh, these people are doing this. So like, why aren't we doing this? Right. So it's like, yo, we do our own thing. Right. Granted, there are times where everybody feels like a little stilted, or like you feel stuck and you're like, oh, like we need something to get this thing going. It's like, or Mm-hmm. We just kind of need to like recharge this thing so that way we can kind of get back to like where we're supposed to be because we're exhausted.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right.
It's like we have a lot of different responsibilities and like this is what our new routine has been. And sometimes routines feel routine.
Right.
And it's like you want to break it, but it's like there's a reason why it's your routine.
Right. Right. So like I said, enjoy the silence. That's all I got.
All right.
I love it. I love it. We're gonna be silent.
Do you have a cultural gem?
I do have a cultural gem, and you're gonna hate this.
Shine bright like a diamond. Why am I gonna hate it?
Because I know this is one of the movies that you're not too favorable of, but I put it on here purposely.
Is it ATL?
It is definitely ATL.
Is it really?
I was like, he's gonna hate the fact that I picked
I saw you
movie.
scrolling through movies and I didn't see ATL on there. I was like, tell me about ATL because like I have yet to see this movie. So like,
are you serious?
I still have not watched it.
Oh my god! All right, so first of all, I'll let you know who's in it. So we have T.I.
I know one of the guys is in it.
We have T.I.
The main reason I haven't seen this movie.
We have Lauren London. We have Big Boy.
Who I heard is really good in this movie.
He is a great actor.
There you go.
We have Evan Ross, who plays T.I.'s little brother.
Tracy Ellis or Diana Ross's son, right?
What?
Yeah, Tracy Ellis Ross from Blackish. That's her older brother. I mean, she's his older sister. If you look at him, he looks just like Diana Ross.
I'm looking now, and I'm like, is this the one who Michael said is the kid is not my son? Oh my goodness, this is crazy. All right, so we have Jackie Long. We have Albert Daniels, who has the worst picture he could ever have in here. Kevin David, Jason Weaver.
Jason Weaver's in this movie?
Jason Weaver is definitely in this movie.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm already kind of turning now. I'm like, do I need to see ATL?
I don't know how to pronounce his name, but
McKetty Wilson?
Yep.
Wilson?
Yep. He's also star-studded in a lot of different movies. I think we could stop there. For some reason, Big Gip is in this. But basically what happens is both T.I. and his little brother have lost both their parents, and they're living with their uncle.
Okay.
T.I. literally works a full-time job so that he can take care of his little brother and put groceries and stuff in the house. So where his uncle, they're living in their parents' house, but their uncle moved in to keep an eye on them because if not, they probably would have went into DCF custody or something like that. So in that time, his brother wants to have his own money, so he begins to start selling drugs. All right, so he's making money on the side. He's got his little stuff going on and all that. There's a lot of skating in this movie. Not a lot of skating, but T.I.
This came out like around the same time as like Roll Bounce, right?
I think so.
Because I remember like there was a lot of times where I was confusing which movie was which.
Right.
But I was like, I know ATL and T.I. and I wasn't gonna watch it, and I think I almost didn't watch Roll Bounce because I thought that was a movie. But isn't T.I. also in Roll Bounce?
That's a good question. I can't remember. That would be a good question. I'll look at
Fake Nick Cannon's in Roll Bounce, all right?
Yes. Yes.
And Bow Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So T.I. and his homies usually hang out and go to the skating rink. They got like a little skate crew where they do their little routines and stuff like that. Him and his homies end up beefing over some stuff they do, you know.
In the roller skating rink?
No. Outside of the roller skating rink.
Is this Cascades?
It is Cascades. Yep. Good job. He ends up dating Lauren London, who like hangs out at Cascades and acts like she's like a hood girl, but she's actually not a hood girl.
What's her name, like Juju this one? Lulu?
Nunu. Yeah.
Right. Her dad, I know a lot about this movie that I've never seen.
Her dad is like a super high up on the level of education, and one of T.I.'s friends is trying to get into this engineering program, and that's how he finds out about Nunu. But the best part of the movie where the drama comes in is the little brother that's selling drugs for Big Boy ends up not showing up with some money.
No, that ain't who I think it is.
And that's one of the biggest lines from the movie. He's like, not that one, but he was like, he pops up on him. He's like, bang! Yeah. And he spills the milk all over. Like people have done this all over Instagram. He's like, remember what I told you, right? He's like, this grown man business. He's like, all right. So that's one of the,
I would have messed around with Sir Lucius Leftfoot if I had to.
I'm trying to tell you. So it ends up becoming this big thing where T.I. is trying to defend his brother, and a lot of stuff happened. So, I enjoyed ATL. But
is it worth it?
If you're kicking it at the crib and you need a movie to watch, ATL is a good movie to pick. I hate the fact that they're doing a reboot.
People make it sound blasphemous when I tell them I haven't seen this movie.
Because it's culturally something a movie you should have seen.
Is it really though? Is it really? Because when I think about it, I think of it like on a level of like a waist deep.
Nah, it's not that bad. It's not.
What I'm saying is like this isn't Boys in the Hood. Like this isn't like you need to see ATL. But that's how people treat it. Like I watch a lot of movies, and it's like I tell people like, oh, you haven't seen this, you haven't seen this, you haven't seen this, and then it'll come up that I haven't seen ATL. They're like, oh, you haven't seen ATL, and I'm like, no. And then like I'd be like, why should I watch this movie? They're like, it's amazing. I'm like, ATL's amazing. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way. It's better than Hustle and Flow.
No, I wouldn't call it amazing, but it is a good watch.
Like, I know people who still haven't seen Top Gun. I can talk about Top Gun again if you want to for another 45 minutes.
Stop it. But yes, ATL, it came out in 2006.
That's the year I graduated high school.
Oh, that's what's up. You can watch it on Tubi.
Okay.
YouTube for $4. Google Play Movies for $4. And on Vudu. And Vudu, for some reason, is charging you $4 to watch it too.
I love Vudu. Everything's $4.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, it's all.
So you can't watch this movie free nowhere, unless you pirated it
on Tubi. It's free on Tubi.
Okay.
Yeah. To be true.
I guess it's to be announced if anybody actually has that.
I know, right? I don't know what Tubi is. What was the one that was really popping for a minute and then it just Quibi?
Oh, I don't know if it was ever popping. But it was all short. Like Kevin Hart did a movie on Quibi.
Yes, and Lawrence Fishburne did too.
I
literally downloaded the app just to watch the Lawrence Fishburne movie, and then I got rid of it.
If you would have asked me any actor that could have done a Quibi movie, I would never have guessed Lawrence Fishburne. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty good movie.
Was it?
Yeah.
So Quibi had a hit.
One.
Wasn't their whole thing was like everything was like really short content?
Yeah.
Whereas like everything's like under 4 minutes or something like that.
Oh, this was a movie.
Okay, because I think that was the thing too. Is like even like movies were like broken down, where it was like it's like 5 parts of this movie or something like that. But you were able to sit down and watch it in one sitting.
I wonder if it was. I can't remember. But yeah, I did.
That's how fast Quibi left.
Right. But yeah, ATL, check it out. It's a good movie, Joel. You got some free time. If you kick it, it's like, man, do I want to watch something? Try ATL.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's been a couple times where like I've seen it and I'm like, is today the day where I watch this movie? And it's like it just never is. I don't got Tubi either, so like that's the thing. Is like I'm not looking up ATL.
It's almost 20 years later, bro. Give it a shot.
I was a whole different person when that movie came out too. Like 2006. I was 18 years old. Yeesh.
Yeah. All right. Do you have a nasty nugget for us?
A half-baked nasty nugget.
All right. I mean, it's still a nugget.
So I used to go to the YMCA after school program. Okay. For my entire childhood, I went to the YMCA camps, and like YMCA always had like 4. I don't know what you would call them. Like they were like the 4 values of like the YMCA. Okay. And now that I'm thinking about it, I literally can only remember 3 of them. Okay. One of them was
that's pretty good. 3 out of 4.
Yeah, like one of them was in red. I can never remember the red one. Respect was always in blue. Mm-hmm. Yellow was honesty.
Seems like a good color.
Green one was the one that I wanted to talk about today, and I think it's extremely important. And it's like it's such an expansive topic, but I'm gonna try and narrow this thing down.
Okay. We also have to go back to home cooking. I made a mistake. I apologize.
It's okay. The green one was always responsibility. Uh-huh. And I feel like responsibility is so key to making everything in your life as easy as it could possibly be. Okay. Like as we get older, we wind up taking on so many things. Mm-hmm. People become parents. Mm-hmm. We become spouses. We become professionals. And the main thing that you're supposed to do as an adult, and one of the things you're supposed to learn like in high school, but you more learn it in college because it's like there's no one else to rely on but yourself in college, is your responsibility. Mm-hmm. It is no one else's job to handle your responsibility. And like you at all times should always know what the responsibility is. Mm-hmm. And if no one else can help me with it, at the end of the day, this falls on my shoulders. Right. Otherwise, it's too big for you and you probably shouldn't handle it. Okay. And I think that's a lot of people struggle. So I think a lot of people become parents and they're not ready for the responsibility. I think a lot of people want to get married, but they're not ready for that responsibility. I think a lot of people, there's a lot of things like in general, but like I've just come across these past couple weeks, I should say, and I've been meaning to talk about this, is just people just not being responsible and then expecting the other person to have to be responsible for them. And to me, it is just really hard to respect somebody that skirts their responsibilities. And it's like, that's the thing is like, you know, like I keep asking, like I don't want to say I have beef. Like I don't really have beef like that, but like there's just people I don't get along with.
Okay.
And like like people keep asking me like, hey, what's up with you and this person? What's up with you and this person? How come you and this person don't get along? And I was just like, yo, I don't have any ill will towards this person. I don't not like them, but I find it hard to respect this person because all I see them at every level of their life is that they are trying to skirt their responsibilities. They try to do the least amount they can at work. They try to do the least amount that they can do in their relationship, and they try to do the least amount that they can do as a parent. And it's like, that is a very hard thing for me to respect. And I can't have someone like that in my circle. You know what I mean? And it's and it's like, I feel like that hits harder than being like, well, I just don't like him because he's a lame or he's a bum.
I want to watch this nasty nugget.
I doubt that they will. But it's just like, yeah. And it's like, I don't know how you were brought up like in your house.
Plink, plink,
I can't believe you just ate up like 40 seconds of like in the middle of me talking to just load this revolver.
This revolver full of responsibility bullets.
It just keeps getting worse somehow.
Somebody ain't been shot in the moment, but you about to get one today. Go ahead.
But like all I just really want to say is like, yes, responsibilities suck. That's the reason like why responsibilities are the way we are. Nobody wants, like, what is it in the Rugrats? It's like, I'm tired of responsibilities. It's like, yes, we're all tired of responsibilities, but it's really hard to enjoy anything when your responsibilities are not taken care of. Because at the end of the day, whatever you enjoy, if you go back to these things that you neglected and then you have to take care of them, you just waste all that feeling that you just had before. So like, I know it's summertime. I know we want to take trips. We want to go places. We want to go here, but just make sure everything in your home base is taken care of. It's the most adult thing that you can do. I don't know if you had something that you would touch on there.
No. I believe full and well what you're saying.
I want to do a quick example real quick. Cause like in my household, like growing up, and it was like, my brothers can attest to this as well, is like, we knew there were things that we needed to do in the house before my mom came home from work. I was the type to be like, as soon as I wake up, I'm going to take care of all this stuff. So I don't have to worry about it when my mom gets home.
Right.
My brother, on the other hand, was very much like, I'm going to do the thing that I want to do. Hopefully I get back in enough time so that way I can take care of these things. And like, mom's probably going to be pissed off, but it's like, I still got to do the things that I want to do. But then you don't realize it's like, now you just mess it up and now we all can't go outside tomorrow. But like, because you want to do that. And it's like, there are some people that don't like that, but it's like, I've always had the mindset that you take care of your responsibilities first. So that way you can do the things that you want to do.
There you go. I like it.
All right. I'm coming home again. Do you think about me now and then? Do you think about me now and then? Cause I'm coming home again. It's time for some home cooking with Big Nasty and Uncle Raisin.
All right. For my first time in my life, I had gotten out on the campaign trail.
Okay.
So
are you running for mayor for real?
No.
Because I know like that's what your wife calls you, the mayor. That's all I'm asking. I'm like, is it time?
Nope. I'm supporting a friend of mine that I will bring up shortly, but I don't know if you noticed or not, but you do live in Ward 5.
I do.
And recently, Ward 5 does not have any representation because Marcus Williams, I believe his name was, who was the Ward 5 City Council representation, recently resigned.
Oh, I did not know that.
A number of people who are getting their names balloted to put their name in the running to be councilman or woman elect. And the person that I've chosen to endorse is none other than LeVar Click Bruce, Ward 5 City Council member. All right. So for those of you who don't know LeVar, he was the executive director at Dunbar. He also worked very closely at the YMCA in a leadership position. From there, he transferred into becoming the mayor's aide, currently the mayor's aide. If for any reason he is elected city council member, then he would leave his position as the mayor's aide. What I can say about LeVar is like he's definitely a man of his community. He has worked with countless families and children and coaching and empowerment and building youth programs for kids to stay out of trouble. He's born and raised in Springfield, and the things that we care about are the things that he cares about. So I know a lot of the times people worry about voting for people who are actually going to make change or hear their concerns. I believe that this is a person that will do so.
Do you know anything else about like the platform or anything that he's running behind specifically?
Yep. Okay. So the 4 key things that he's concerned about or that he's pushing, and for the beginning, I would say, things will grow into other things, but the main one is public safety, support for the elderly, youth building and programs, and education.
Okay. Those are 3 solid ones for him.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody wants to be safe in their neighborhood, and with all this like violence and guns and like this uptick in youth that are getting involved in the gun situation, like people are worried about their public safety, and then, the best way to combat that is by giving the youth something to do other than the things that they're partaking in now. Your elderly want to feel safe, and we have to educate everyone. So I think those are very prominent points to start with.
Okay.
All right. That's it for
LeVar Click Burke.
LeVar Click Bruce.
Bruce. Okay.
Yep, for Ward 5. So for those people that don't know, this is not like usually election time, but because the person, Marcus Williams, resigned from his position, then it has to be filled. So it's kind of like off dated from when everything else is happening. So
when is election day?
The wheels are going to be turning really quick. Once I find out, I will let you know.
All right.
It's going to be quick though. I want to say mid to late August, but it's not really a lot of time for the candidates to get rolling on their campaign.
Okay.
All right.
We'll keep an ear out.
Hey, there you go. That's all I got for today, man.
All right. Do you have any like lasting things that you want to throw out there?
Nope.
All right. Handle your business. Next week we got Buzz Lightyear. Is the movie?
Oh,
I said next year. Not next episode, but the episode after we got Buzz Lightyear. We'll have games 5 will be in the books.
Yep.
So like we'll have that on there. The heavyweight lover segment will be continuing the Know Your Role. I'm trying to decide if I want to do boyfriend and girlfriend, or do I want to do like the in between, like before you become boyfriend and girlfriend, knowing your role. But I think I'm just gonna go boyfriend and girlfriend, know your role. Just go from there.
Okay, I feel like you did kicking it already. Boyfriend and girlfriend's a good jump.
Yeah, I mean, well, like we've already did sneaky links. We've done booty calls. We've done side pieces. We've done what was the other one? Oh, friends with benefits.
There you
so
go.
I think it's that
there you
time.
go. There you go.
Yeah.
I like the progression. All right. Well, holla at y'all, man. See you then.
Stay up.
Hey.
Get up.